And we're still going with the same classic
Well,
blue layout here.
yeah, of course. Actually, it's a little different. Anyway, let me go introduce myself. Actually, wait, no, I never muted myself. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 year-end prediction stream, or I guess 2025 year start. Sorry, it's a little late. Scheduling stuff happened, but we're good now. I've had time to improve things, add new predictions, give new results, and yeah, we should be good to go. Are you guys ready?
Where I'm ready. I'm doing the Isaac Daily.
Ready as I'll ever be.
I will literally be done in just a second, but you guys can
Lid?
go on, and I can intuit what
Yep.
what is being
All right.
predicted upon.
2024. Starting off with the Sony predictions. The first prediction of last year. At least one announced live service game from Sony will be revealed with a heavy emphasis on Sony. Joe, would you like to read this one?
Well, hold up. Let me tab out. I'm doing the Isaac Daily.
Okay.
Let me pop that up very quickly. Let's see. At least one announced live service. Yeah. Okay. What's the next one? Sony quietly shelved many multiplayer titles and Concord flopped.
So I would also like to add
the first part of that prediction is wrong.
Well, there was some. I think like that Horizon. Like there are a lot of them where like their futures are questionable. Like like that Twisted Metal one. That's one that got shelved.
Yeah, but I
Andy,
think
Concord didn't flop. Concord got taken back behind the shed and shot.
Hey, they sold that game. That counts as a flop. Hyenas got taken.
Didn't
I'm just saying you're underselling it.
True.
I'd put it up there with like StarCraft Ghost if it wasn't that StarCraft Ghost also, actually actually never hit store shelves. This did.
Is Concord? Yeah. I guess the comparison would be like Concord is somehow even worse than Hyenas. We'll talk about Concord. Also, let me explain the color coding system I have here. It's very simple. Red, incorrect. Yellow, partially correct. Green, correct. Gray, correct in that right now, but could still happen.
Let's see if we have to disagree with you about any of your color choices.
I tried to lean a little more critically. I did to avoid. We'll see how it goes though. Lid, would you like to read well, actually, let me read this. Okay. The next trailer for Wolverine will be mostly CGI and have less than 20 total seconds of gameplay, and not have a date at the end of the trailer. Lid, would you like to read the results for this?
I think I know the results, but go ahead and put them on screen. Yeah, there was not a Wolverine trailer in 2024.
Man, they really shouldn't have fucking shown that game in 2021, huh?
I mean, it's like I don't even think this is like a behind the scenes type thing because everyone knows this, but yeah, so many games now where like normally you'd have like 8 months of like actual like after pre-production, like after being greenlit, where you'd actually like work on the game in complete secrecy. Now for most AAA shit, it's like you literally like for instance with Indiana Jones, like from what I gather, they literally had like just greenlit that game more or less when they did that first pre-rendered trailer.
It's not only that. We saw a trailer for Wolverine before we saw a Spider-Man 2 trailer.
Well, and even then, the Spider-Man 2 trailer was pretty early too, because we found out a ton of like the plot shit
from the version. That early, like the first trailer for Spider-Man 2 was the Tony Todd Venom thing, and that was like 2022, I think, like 2021.
Well, yeah, but even then, like Venom's identity, from what I gathered, changed.
Sure, I'm not saying it wasn't early, but I am saying like 2 years is normal.
This is the second prediction. We're gonna be here all night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna be here all night anyway. This should be a little shorter than last year, but yeah. Okay, Eli, since you haven't gotten to go yet, would you like to actually? I'll read the results. You let's switch it up. That makes more sense. You read the prediction. Okay.
Sure. Ghost of Tsushima 2 will continue to eat Ubisoft lunch, with its reveal trailer that has a heavy emphasis on naval combat.
So
Naval. Wait, hold up.
you have a boat.
They're
You-
fighting in belly buttons.
Yeah, let's not go over Andy's spelling mistakes here. But it's like, Andy, that is not even a grade, because yeah, it could have naval combat, but you said the trailer would have naval
That
combat.
is true. Yes, I will modify that. That, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think the other grades.
You are right that they did reveal the next game in the series. I'm not going to even penalize you for getting the title wrong, because how could you have known it would have been called Ghost of Yotun?
Yeah,
But,
no. Does Gray consider time travel? You know what? I should do like a video in the middle of next year where I go over and are like, here were ones that were predictions that were unclear at year end. Here's where they are now. Like at the, because next year I think is the 5-year anniversary. I'll do that sometime next year. Anyway, let's move on. More Sony. Joe, wanna go?
Sony will have full ownership of Bungie by the end of 24 after several waves of layoffs.
So it does seem like this happened with the final wave of considering that the CEO, former heads of Bungie have not tweeted in like 6 months, and we haven't heard about layoffs. It seems like they just absorbed everyone into Sony, fired who they didn't want, and now that's whatever it is, it is. Sony couldn't even deliver on a boat. We'll talk about not delivering on boats, but yeah, I mean this is that Sony, Jim Ryan clearly bought Sony as like a aggressive, Jim Ryan clearly bought Bungie as an aggressive move to counter the Microsoft thing, and did a really stupid contract. Like, for in case you are unaware, how that worked is, if Bungie did not make a profit at the end of a quarter, I believe, Sony would get full ownership. But if they made it like 3 or 4 years, the execs would get bonuses. So they basically just like carved out Bungie and burned everything they could to try and make that happen. Really bad situation.
Man, I hope that marathon game turns out good.
No, I don't, because it's multiplayer.
I'm being facetious, but no, I mean it really hurts because that game like looks visually fucking amazing, but they were like, no, it will be a Tarkov ripoff.
Eli, I'll have you do this one.
Sure thing. The Venom game reveal trailer will not let you know who is under the symbiote, but it will probably be Eddie Brock.
Because for context, spoilers for the end of Spider-Man 2, Harry Osborn is Venom in that game, but he loses the symbiote and it like crawls into a sewer, so implying it's going to go to someone else. We still haven't seen Venom, and the Spider-Man 2 DLC was fucking canceled. So, because I think the most recent information we had on the Venom game was from the Insomniac leak, which was 2 or 3 years old information. So who knows? If that's still coming. I would assume we'll see it soon, but like, man. And then Lid, would you like to read the final Sony prediction from last year?
Let's see it. God of War 1 through 3 will get a modest remaster collection dropping this year.
Nope. In fact, they haven't even released God of War alongside the other PS2 and PSP games they've re-released on PlayStation. I'm sure they're coming, but yeah, it's.
I mean, those games are old. Why would anyone want to play PS2?
Hey, they put out a bunch of the Sly Coopers. They've got they got the Jak and Daxter. Like, they're slowly chipping away. They're not chipping away fast enough, but they are at least re-releasing old games, and the PS2 emulation isn't broken anymore. So, yeah,
I thought it was. So that's
they fixed it. Well, okay, the games that were previously broken have not all been fixed, but the games they're adding now all work.
Okay.
They might add Ape Escape 2 and have it work. No idea, though. Microsoft time! All right. Joe, you do this one.
Flight Sim and Avowed will launch in 2024, but Hellblade 2 will be delayed to next year.
Flight Sim and Hellblade shipped, but Avowed is coming out this year. Okay, partial. It's partial because I got Flight Sim correct. Which, I mean, to be
solid 1 out of 3.
Look, I gotta take.
Well, he just got wrong which one would be delayed.
That's true. I also, I did get the number correct, and I will also say, boy, Flight Sim maybe shouldn't have shipped this year. That game launched in like a really bad state.
That game shouldn't have fucking shipped. Period.
Yeah, weird cloud bullshit. We'll see how Avowed goes. We'll see how Obsidian shipping 2 games next year goes, and Hellblade 2 sure is a game that shipped this year. I think the reason
people wanted it to be something it was not.
I think the reason Ninja Theory has not been shut down yet is because their motion capture studio is being used on other Xbox projects. We'll see if they manage to get, because the head of the studio, which came out like 6 months before Hellblade 2 shipped, he'd been gone for 2 years by the time Hellblade 2 was out. So, yeah, that's a great sign. Eli, you do this one.
Clockwork Revolution, a game which I'm just going to say, Andy, I do not remember at all.
Yeah, they showed it at the 20.
Heavy emphasis on build and player customization, and the game will launch in Q1 2025.
So this is by the devs of, what's the name of the not Fallout CRPG series? Wasteland. By the Wasteland devs. It's like a 3D. They showed gameplay, so I'm like, oh, this game will be soonish, right? No new information. I'm kind of surprised that this went back into the mines, but, it is what it is. Lid, here you go.
The Perfect Dark reboot will continue to be a no-show as Embracer's slow collapse will bring all development to a crawl.
So, okay, I'm wrong about this one, but I'm going to defend myself a little bit. They brought in Crystal Dynamics to help finish development like 3 years into the development cycle of Perfect Dark. Embracer fucking burned to the ground this year and has been a constant trash fire. So, like, it's understandable. Also, I will say this. I'm not going to believe Perfect Dark is real until we see it again with a date. They show, like, what they showed looked promising, but it was also, if you look at it, very clearly a limited slice of gameplay from, could be within, it looks very clearly like within an hour, like the same, like 2 to 3 hours of game. I'm not saying that it's fake, but until we get an update, I'm gonna be skeptical. That's I think reasonable. Eli.
Yep. Overwatch 2 and World of Warcraft will both get 3+ minute trailers at Microsoft's major show.
So WoW did, Overwatch 2 did not get a trailer. So the point of this prediction, which was broadly correct, I got the specifics wrong, is that because Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, like how they absorbed all of the bad trailers for Bethesda service games in here, they're also going to do that for Activision. However, Overwatch 2 seems fucking dead, so I guess it didn't. But, the broader point is correct, even if the specifics are very wrong.
Then Marvel fucking came and just salted the Earth after the fact.
And salted it and Concord.
They just got an Avatar: The Last Airbender collaboration. Obviously, that's going to save them from the brink of extinction.
Yeah, that definitely worked great for Smite.
Remember the Slipknot Smite thing?
I don't. Oh, I actually don't. But yeah, no. We'll see how things go. Lid.
Microsoft will announce Diablo 4, Overwatch 2, and the modern Call of Duties coming to Game Pass during their summer presentation.
So this one is complicated. Let me break this down. None of these were announced at the Microsoft show, technically. The most recent Call of Duty was. Diablo 4 was released in Game Pass in the spring. Overwatch 2 was announced and came to Game Pass in the fall. Call of Duty the past 2 Call of Duty games came to Game Pass, and what was it? Black Ops Cold War? No. It was Black Ops 6. And the one from last year, I think that's new Modern Warfare 3 are on Game Pass. But I assumed like we'd have like 4 or 5 Call of Duties on Game Pass at least, and that has not true. Well, I did get some of it right, so that's the important thing. Eli, read this
We'll
one.
give you more credit on that. Blade will be shown off without a date, but we will see gameplay by the end of the year.
So I will say, the Blade game is still in development. It was the other Arcane studio that got shut down. This game is presumably still fine, but yeah, we haven't seen this fucking game. This makes sense. That was an announcement trailer. They have done no development work on that game probably when that announced, so we'll probably see, we might see Blade before the end of the decade, but who fucking knows?
We might see it before another Blade movie.
I mean, that seems very possible. Joe, read this one.
Okay, let me tap back over. id Software's next project will be a CGI trailer for a new Quake game showing a combination of Strogg and Lovecraftian elements. You got so close on this one.
They're making a Doom prequel, it looks like. Which,
without saying anything, that you almost got that one right, save for it being the wrong studio.
Oh, okay.
You came really close on it, and
So would you say that would be partial credit for Andy instead of?
Well, no, I'm not going to take partial credit because it has to I want Microsoft to announce it. That's what I was looking for. So
yeah, no, they did not announce the next Quake.
Capcom time. Eli, you're the fighting game guy here.
Yeah, and I was upset about this prediction on your stream last time. I just want to say I've been kind of mauling about how stupid this was since you said this.
No, I think
Street Fighter 6 Joe character will be Ken Masters from Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight.
This is a base prediction. This is a fucking base prediction. I am genius for thinking this. They should totally do that. They should remake Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight, in HD 2D graphics. It would be delightful. But yeah, obviously that did not.
Andy, they get 4 DLC characters a year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's way too early to do joke characters. I actually do have a more sober Street Fighter DLC prediction this year. You'll go, yeah, maybe.
They just announced their first Third Strike character, and she's not even in the game yet.
Yeah, it's way too early to be doing joke characters. Okay, Joe, you do this one.
Pragmata will be announced as the big show-off for the Fox engine, like how RE7 was for the RE7 was.
So I put this one as gray because here's the thing: I don't think there have been any games announced on the Fox engine. Is Capcom's big new in-house engine they're working on, and I don't think
Andy, no, I regret to tell you, no. The Fox is Kojima's one. Well, Kojima's one that he.
I
has
thought Capcom. What was Capcom's called then? Because
I
thought it was.
Capcom's new one is called REX, which is the next.
Oh god! Oh, I got it mixed up with 2 Metal Gear things. I got Rex and Fox mixed up.
All right, then I'm going to do a Galaxy Brain prediction on Andy's stream. REX? No, that's Rex. We're getting Dino Crisis in the new engine.
I would love that. That's a Galaxy Brain.
I mean, to be fair, I got really hyped when they showed that first trailer for what was it fucking called? The game that was just.
I know what you're talking about, but the fact that we can't remember the title is kind of a problem.
Not Prog. I know. Oh,
Exoprimal.
Thank you. Lid
Yes.
knows because Lid played that game because it was on Game Pass.
God.
Yeah.
I have Game Pass. I didn't play that shit.
It was the most, if this had just been a normal single player action game, this would be so good. But they made
Slop.
They made one TF2 game mode and called it a day.
Yeah. All right, Eli, you do this one.
Mitsugami, Path of the Goddess, will not be a game the style of Onimusha. It will instead be more similar to Okami, aka a Zelda-like.
Surprisingly, the Nintendo game that I've heard people compare Kitsunogami to is fucking Pikmin. It's like they made it's not. I don't know if I'd call it a Pikmin-like.
It's not, but it's obviously closer to Pikmin.
Also, Okami 2 and 3 are real. This one I might have been able to get away with as a partial, but I decided to err on the side of incorrectness.
Yeah, no, that is wrong. I mean, yeah, I guess you were right that it's not Onimusha, but
And they did, I did say they'd make something like Okami, and they are making something
I'm
like.
not going to give you partial credit for that. No.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Joe.
Oh, wait, let me tab back in. Let's see. Monster Hunter Wilds will follow up Monster Hunter Worlds by not launching on the Switch too.
We'll get okay. So I'm putting this in gray. I've seen those PC specs. I've seen what the leaks of what the Switch 2 has inside it. No fucking way this game comes to the Switch 2. No
Now,
fucking way.
There's a big question mark, and
Cloud versions don't count.
not talking about cloud versions because
Oh.
I don't know what I am and am not allowed to talk about with regards to the Switch 2, but that new like whatever specific type of like fork of DLSS that NVIDIA helped on for the Switch 2 may actually be a pretty big
I believe that, but the last thing is, oh god, like I don't want to know how many, like, what are they gonna fake? Is 1 in every 16 frames gonna be like? Sure, I'm sure it's possible, but it's like they shouldn't. They should just do the Rise thing again. Of no, we made one for the modern consoles and sickos. Here, Switch fans, here's your spinoff. Enjoy.
Although I don't know if I'd call Rise a spinoff, like strictly speaking.
Yeah,
It's just like a different
it's not.
version
Yeah, the
of it.
Pokemon like things are spinoffs.
Yeah, that's the spinoff.
Sega time. Lizard. Oh wait, Lid, you do this one.
Lizard Cube is developing the Shinobi reboot, and it'll launch 2024.
So, Lizard Cube is developing that. I did look at that from the 5 seconds of gameplay that they showed at at last 2 years ago's Game Awards, and I was like, that's their art style, and I was right. However, we have not gotten an update on any of those Sega games, but we did see leaks, so I'll take credit for this one. And that Shinobi game does look sick.
Yeah.
Joe, you do this one.
Golden Axe will be the second game of the 5 Sega reboots to launch, coming out Q1 2025.
Still no word. Still no word from anyone.
We don't know anything about those games.
We know a little bit about Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio and Shinobi. We know literally nothing about Golden Axe and Streets of Rage 5. Or whatever it's called. Eli, you read this one.
Yakuza 8 will have a chapter that involves the characters visiting Pearl Harbor.
They don't go to Pearl Harbor.
I forgot about that.
Why would they do that?
because it's they're in Hawaii, and that's like the biggest tourist destination.
That's not the biggest tourist
Andy,
destination in Hawaii.
They're not going to go to. They're not going to fucking open that can of worms.
I think they would. I think they're brave. I think they're.
I mean, obviously, other Japanese media has engaged with that, right? Like going to Pearl Harbor and stuff like that. But I don't think you're going to see that in a Yakuza game. Not really.
Barry Ardman says in chat, game developers love to be named Lizard Cube. I mean, that's a good name. All right, Sonic time. Eli.
A collection containing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 will launch Q4 2024 to build hype for the movie.
No, instead we got a re-release of Sonic Generations with a new game featuring Shadow the Hedgehog bundle alongside it. Did not expect that. It did. There was a Sonic thing that came out in 2024 to build hype for the movie, so I could make it yellow, but that would be a little disingenuous.
Although, I mean, it is good. I mean,
Yeah.
they got a new game for it.
Yeah.
Right? And that people like.
I like very much. Look forward to seeing it where it makes it on my Game of the Year list. Lid.
A second Sonic collection will be announced featuring all 4 GBA games and release early 2025.
The Sonic Advance games have still never been re-released on the West. They have been re-released. They were on the Japanese Wii U Virtual Console. I think it's because THQ technically published them. So, good news though, Lid. You know what I saw a few days ago? Footage of a decompilation of Sonic Advance 2 in widescreen. I'm winning. Is that it? Alright, it's Squeenix time. Okay. Eli.
Dragon Quest III HD will be revealed, announced for spring 2025. Dragon Quest XII will get a new trailer, but no date.
So Dragon Quest III HD released in fall 2024. However, there is a Dragon Quest re-release in HD 2D that's coming out in spring 2025. But so that
This is a stretch.
look, I gotta take all the stretches I get, Eli. We haven't heard jack shit about 12.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out how to make it like really like nationalistic and homophobic after that one dude died.
Carry on his legacy. Right, that's definitely the correct legacy you should carry on. Anyway,
I did hear that they had like trouble and that they fired the guy who was directing it and brought on someone else. So
okay, I did not hear that, but we'll
that.
see how that goes
Yeah.
because I did make a prediction about Dragon Quest 12 this year. But we'll see how it goes. Joe.
Foam Stars will last until the end, at least the end of 2024, but it won't have an optimistic future.
So the game's they're not killing it. You can still play Foam Stars theoretically. But yeah, it ain't getting any no updates, which I think is probably the best case scenario Foam Stars realistically could have.
I thought they had shut it down by now. I didn't know. It was
Yeah, they just killed development, but they did not pull the plug on the servers.
Yeah, it's not Concord disaster.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, hell, there's a
Let me
lot
put
of
it this way. Foam Stars doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
Wait, on God?
On God.
Oh my God! Holy shit! No,
That's
my
crazy.
God, you're right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And they designed that game for people to jack off to. That's amazing.
Wait! I gotta do the Gelburu check. Let's see. Is there actually anything for
Eli?
Foam Stars?
A new action RPG by Yoko Taro will be announced, and it will be neither called Nier or Drakengard.
We have not gotten a Yoko Taro project yet. I could maybe put this in gray because the neither end, but I specifically called it, so I'm gonna take red on this one.
Well, I mean, I assumed that like it would have to be announced in the year 2024.
Yes.
Assuming at some point there will be a new Yoko Taro game. That's not really.
But yeah, well, specifically that he's working on a new IP.
I see.
Well, you've been teasing that it's a new Nier, so
okay, yeah. I mean that makes sense.
Also, following up on the Foam Stars things, there are exactly 5 entries on Foam.
That's
Stars on Gelburu.
embarrassing. Holy
and, none of them are explicit. I repeat, none of them are explicit.
That's wow.
That's a fucking failure. When you make a game to like get the people who jack off to like Overwatch porn and stuff to play your game and they don't take the bait at all. Like that is honestly like Battleborn level like failure.
You know, Barry Erdman brings up a very good point. We did get Sonic Adventure 2 levels, so technically I'm correct.
No, shut up.
Anyway, Lid, you read this one.
There will be another full year of silence on Kingdom Hearts 4.
That one's correct. That one's that happened. We have not heard jack shit about Kingdom Hearts 4. All right, time for the grab bag time. Let's see how this goes. Joe, you read this one.
Let's see. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the second major release to have major differences between the Xbox Series X and Series S versions.
Yeah, no, we have not seen GTA 6.
I would not be shocked if they at the very least had shit like much worse
yeah. I mean, this game has been in
LED
development long
scaling.
enough that there's no way it doesn't come to Xbox, but on that second game part, like, I did not predict the obvious result of, no, instead of worrying about that, they just road shipped the game on Xbox. So...
And this could end up being right. You know, it's
yeah,
just we
yeah.
obviously.
We'll see. We'll see. Joe.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm letting you go again.
Oh, okay. Dragon Age 4 will have its gameplay structured around the same camera angle as modern God of War.
Well, I was correct. It was like fully a normal action RPG, but they aren't going for the same camera gimmick, so that's wrong.
Yeah. That was like one of the things that I think like I don't know, I don't get why so many people like coomed themselves over that in God of War 2018. I don't feel like the game necessarily like benefited that much from having
yeah. I'm kind of surprised they did it again in Ragnarok, but whatever. Lid, you read this one.
Skate 4 will get its first real gameplay trailer, and it will obfuscate the fact that it's a live service game as much as possible.
So this one's complicated because we got a trailer with gameplay in it, but it was mostly bullshit comedy skit from an actor from a show that I haven't watched. Why'd they do that? Everything about Skate 4's marketing has been confusing and wrong. I guess there's nothing really else to say about it other than that, so let's move on. Eli.
Warhammer Space Marine 2 will pull a Star Wars Jedi Outcast and feature a level in a bombed-out city where you have to dodge Tau snipers.
You got that pronunciation correct, Eli. Good job. So I assumed that Space Marine 2 would be like, here's all the factions. No, they only had two. They only had Tyranids, which are the Xenomorph if it was even more Eldritch Cosmic Horror, and Chaos Space Marines, who are the same as who are regular Space Marines, but sometimes more, sometimes less evil. It's 40k.
Not to derail, but speaking of the Xenomorph, I just read that Walter Hill interviewed Tommy Lee Jones for the Ian Holm role in Alien, but Tommy Lee Jones said he would only do it if he could play the monster. He's
I'm just imagining fucking the Xenomorph with doing the fucking Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, I assume.
No, you got James Earl Jones. This is Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee
Men in
Jones.
Black guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also would have been sick.
I thought you would love that, Andy.
Like the Xenomorph giving the speech at the end of No Country for Old Men.
Exactly.
Joe, you read this one.
Skull and Bones will launch with the bare minimum not to get sued by the government of Singapore.
They did do that. They got the bare minimum out the door finally. It only took, what, 9 years?
9 years, and like I shit you not, like there are people who had been like play testing the game for like literally over like 200 hours.
God, that's depressing. Skull and Bones might be the most embarrassing live service game that released this year. I know what you're going to say, Eli. Yes. In terms of the content that is available, more than Concord. Because at least people... Say what you will about Concord. Everyone who I heard who touched that game was like, the shooting is fine, there's nothing else here that is inspired. Nothing about how Skull and Bones plays.
I think the most embarrassing... well, I don't know if it counts as a live service game, strictly speaking. I would say Multiverse is more embarrassing. I don't know if you explicitly count
Yeah, that one's up there.
Even though I feel like it's kind
that there's...
Yeah.
I guess that depends on how you defined launch this year.
Yes.
Lid.
On top of being more expensive than Assassin's Creed Mirage, Assassin's Creed Infinite will also sell worse at launch than Mirage.
So this requires a little bit of context for what happened. So, Assassin's Creed Infinite is not a game that Ubisoft marketed this year. What they were going to do is, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, is they were going to make Assassin's Creed games that were in the structure of a Destiny expansion that you load in from a central hub like the Division 2. This is they canceled it because it's the worst idea that anyone has ever had. We'll see how Shadow
But,
does.
Andy, you got the color wrong. That should be red because the game never exists, never came out.
We'll see how Shadow. The point about that I made I'm retroactively applying it to Shadows because yes, Infinite got canceled, but they were literally connected to the hip until they weren't. So I'm giving myself a little bit of I gotta take something.
Okay.
Joe, read this one.
There's a 0% chance that Star Wars Outlaws launches in 2024. 0%.
I was right. They fucking shouldn't have shipped that game this year because it almost killed Ubisoft. It might kill Ubisoft. Like, what? We saw only CG trailer in 2023. We saw nothing that was real.
No, you are wrong on that one. They did show most people didn't see it because they showed it at their own fucking conference that nobody watched, but they did show gameplay like right when they revealed it.
Okay, fair enough. They did, but it was very bullshotty looking gameplay, and like they also like they did not have like they didn't give a date. They were like, yeah, and it's like, what do you? And then I remember looking at this. I'm like, that's net. What do you mean that's this year? There's no way that's this year. Just fuck it. Okay. Also, did you hear the Eli? Did you hear what happened when they because they launched it with like the pre-order bonus of like play it a week early? Do you know what happened when the later updates were applied to Star Wars Outlaws?
I'm going to guess that it deleted people's saves.
Ding, ding, ding! You got it right.
What a great company.
What a great company.
No, so that was an honest guess. I had no idea.
Yeah, no. I'm glad you. Congratulations. Good job. Lid.
Ultra Kill's third and final episode will launch on July 11th and be announced in the PC Gamer Show.
I'm getting sick and tired of waiting for New Blood games that I think are very promising to leave early access. Part of the problem here is that a Medieval is the only game they've that's like a first person thing that they've shipped post Dusk, and I think a Medieval's not that great. It's fine. But it's like, man, I'm waiting on Ultra Kill, I'm waiting on Gloomwood, I'm waiting on Fallen Aces. Please ship something normally. We'll see. Joe, you do this one.
All right, let's see. Despite being developed by Blooper Team, the Silent Hill 2 remake will be narratively
It's Blooper.
inoffensive.
I'm sorry. I was correct though. From what there were not that many people like truly mad at Silent Hill HD2D remake.
It's a game that, I mean, personally, I don't know why it needed to exist when they could have just paid like the dudes who did the fucking incredible fan pack for it, like a couple of million flat sum, and just been like, there you, or not a couple million.
I imagine it was probably Blooper. Blooper came and was like had a pitch or something. But yeah,
but I honestly, I wouldn't really care if they had just released Silent Hill 2 original like with it. That's the only bit of it that really rubs me wrong. It's like, I don't give a shit about the remake. Like whatever, you know. If you want to make it great, but it does bug me. That's the only way to play it, other than getting the PC fan patch.
Yeah.
Or if you have a modern Xbox, you can pick up the wonderful HD remaster from the 360 era.
Oh no.
Lid, I want you to read this one.
Tommy Tallarico will reappear briefly via getting into a huge argument with someone at a Video Games Live concert.
Eli, what color do you think this is going to be?
Okay, before I give my answer, I feel like if this didn't happen, I definitely see a world where it could have happened. But I don't remember hearing about this, and I feel like someone would have told me. So I'm going to say this is not true.
This is partially correct. He did not appear at a video games live concert, but he came in this year. He posted winning a backgammon tournament on social media.
By the way, Andy, this is what we called wrong.
No, I'm taking it correct because I was
No,
correct.
This is a pretty big stretch.
Look, he was back. He's back. I did not think he would be back.
He didn't come back by getting into an argument or
No,
by
he
being
didn't.
at a concert.
No, but he did.
He just reappeared briefly.
look.
That's all.
Look, I'm going to be mostly wrong anyway. So, all right, Eli, you do this one.
Tekken 8's first DLC crossover character will be Robert Patterson? Okay, Robert Patterson's Batman.
All right, sue me. Yeah, it was Clive. It was Clive. I will say 2 things. One, when Negan from Walking Dead shows up in your crossover fighting game, anyone can show up in your crossover fighting game. 2, it would have been pretty cool, though. It would have been pretty fucking cool. But yeah.
I think Clive's pretty cool.
I'm not saying he isn't.
I think they should have gone in the spirit of Negan and put in Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Or Lalo.
No, I want it to be Mike.
Okay.
Because I want Mike to say the words, "Hey, Hachi."
Hey, Hachi.
I'm not sucking your dick, hey, Hachi.
Lid.
Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi Zero will be the first piece of Dragon Ball media to adapt Dragon Ball arcs exclusive to the Dragon Ball Super manga.
I maybe could have put Gray in this, but I when I wrote this, I meant in this year. It will launch with Moro in it. No, Moro is not in this fucking game. We'll see what happens.
And honestly, I feel like if they do arc DLC, it will. Now I will say it'll probably be for Daima
Absolutely.
more than anything.
I think
else.
Daima's on. I think it was announced of like Superhero and Daima.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, read this one.
All right, let's see. To avoid creating unnecessary drama, Remedy will announce a new voice actor for Max Payne this year. I also predict he'll be a relatively inexperienced new face in the industry.
No, they're way too far out on or not far enough out on development of the Max Payne remakes to start this. They hadn't
I
even...
don't know about that. I don't have any insider detail, but I would suspect they're really good at reusing.
True.
Sets.
I do feel like this is
out
something you have to be
so
very
quickly.
tasteful about because,
Oh,
rest in
yeah,
peace.
because of James. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And he was such a good voice for the character.
yeah, part of me thinks they might, like, depending on how they handle the remake, if they have decent enough source files, like they could just reuse them.
I maybe depending on how I imagine 2 they're going to want to change stuff so that they can make their own Max Payne that's not 3, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Lid.
Judas's two-side moral dilemma will be about how both the cyberpunk future police and the protesters can go too far at times.
I could be right, but we haven't seen Judas. I did not predict
You know
anything.
what, Andy, I feel like you can give that a grade because I feel like at some point in development, every possible theme was in this game.
That is...
Also, you were just barely off on there being no update. Like literally, I think on like the 1st or 2nd of this year, the press got previews of.
Oh, I didn't even
Judas.
see that. Okay, cool. Eli.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, despite taking place in Metropolis, will have a large segment where you return to the Arkham Knight map.
My assumption was that they would lazily reuse content for padding, but they did not. I was very generous about the amount of original content that I assumed would even be in this fucking trash fire. God, Why'd they make? Oh, they shouldn't have made this. Fuck WB Interactive.
Yep.
Eli.
Multiverses will relaunch and be announced to be shutting down again by the end of the year.
It hasn't, but it probably should have. It probably.
Yeah.
God, what an embarrassing relaunch. You know what's crazy? The relaunch had better numbers than pre-launch Multiverses. People wanted to give that game a second chance. No. No, I'm sorry. What if it was Judas number 2 and it featured Clint Eastwood? I would love to see Clint.
Oh, instead of Juror number 2, I get it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. I would love to see Clint in one of his games, but yeah. Joe.
Let's see. Night Dive will announce a new multi-episode Blood expansion built around the features of the Kex engine.
I was close. I just got the proper noun wrong. They did make a new single-player expansion for a game based on one of their engines that's a 90s shooter. It was just Doom. Which I did not see. I did not think, oh yeah, we're going to get another Doom's port this year. Like, what? Okay. Lid.
Jonathan Blow is gonna announce a new game in the middle of the Braid re-release commentary tracks.
There are no new Jonathan Blow projects announced or in the works.
What if he did and just no one listened, so no one knew?
All you do in this game is jump around and shit.
Don't point to the damn game.
All right, I think this is the final round of general predictions. Eli.
I would love to read this. Hollow Knight Silksong will reappear with a vague 2025 release date near the end of the year after switching engines.
So I will give myself credit for one thing. I did not predict Hollow Knight Silksong would release in 2024 at the very least. I was smart enough to give myself a little bit of room. I'm still wrong, but I could have been more wrong. This is like how, like how an F is everything from 0 to 40, or like a 0 to 60. This is like a 40. This is like a, yeah, I'm wrong, but I did get, I could have been way, way worse. Anyway. Lid.
I choose to believe Black Myth Wukong is real and will receive an 84 on Metacritic.
So, what I mean by real is that they are not using too much bullshotting in the trailers. That was kind of a lie. It did that they were that game kind of runs like shit on a lot of things, and it did not hit that number on Metacritic. But it is what it is. Joe.
Okay. Vin Diesel will be quietly removed from Arc 2 after his recent allegations.
So,
if we saw Arc 2.
Yeah, we haven't seen Arc 2, but he could be gone the next time we see it. He could not be in Arc 2 right now. It would just require Arc 2 to be real.
I'm sorry, Andy, not to get like glum, but like Me Too is over. Like he's in there.
I was about to say,
yeah,
it's
his shit was really bad. Like his allegations were like he dragged a girl.
Oh yeah,
to the
I'm just saying that unfortunately we live in a world where I'm sure that happens.
Okay,
but anyway.
So Eli, I was dreading this for the past 2 months. I've been dreading this fucking day. They fucked me. They fucked me so hard.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's just get into it. Well, let's start with something light.
Are you asking me? Sure. There will be a mainline Pokemon game this year. However, it will be some kind of remake and not a Switch 2 exclusive.
Well, it didn't come out this year, but I would argue a Legends game is some kind of remake, given that Legends Arceus started out as obviously a Gen 4 remake that morphed into something else. And I don't think they would have announced it already if it was a Switch 2 exclusive, but it didn't come out this year.
This is such fucking dope. This is not a part. This is wrong.
Listen, I got the details right, the big picture wrong. I'm going to cling to those like a rat.
We don't even know for sure if it's actually a remake anyway.
Well,
Like,
no, it's not.
we don't.
But it's based in Kalos. Like, I'm assuming it's not a remake, but it's... I said some kind. Like, I implied wiggle room there. I am assuming the Legends games are the replacements for the previous remakes of, like, this makes more sense than just doing a one-to-one. Like, I honestly, prediction right now, but I'm not doing it because it's like two rods. I could very easily see never getting not getting a Gen 5 remake for another, like, 10 years or whatever. Whenever they, like... Just they're that like the Legends series seems like such a smarter and easier solution than doing that every couple gens.
I get that. I'm just saying your prediction is wrong.
Okay,
But that's okay.
Well, don't
We all
worry.
make
There's going to
mistakes.
be a lot more wrong predictions. All right, Lid.
Princess Peach Showtime will have Pauline, Daisy, Rosalina, and Toadette as NPCs in the game.
They're not there, but it would have made sense to have all of Peach's gal pals in that game with her. You know? I don't know.
I get where you were coming from with that one. It obviously just wasn't.
Yeah. Joe.
Wind Waker HD Switch will launch in August. No word on Twilight Princess.
Yeah, no, we got a new 2D Zelda instead. Hey, well, you know what? This is better, at least. I would say Echoes of Wisdom was better than getting a Wii U Zelda port.
Yeah.
I know I know Lid would probably disagree, but, you know, it is what it is.
I don't know. I can still just play it on Wii U.
That is true.
Sucks for all those other people, though.
All right, let's go in. Eli.
May I? Yes. The Switch 2 will be announced in March of 2024 after a dedicated Switch 1 Direct in February, with more information coming around June.
We did get a mention of the Switch 2 in May. But they gave themselves until the end of March this year to properly reveal it. I'm so fucking mad. All of the rumor mills were spinning. It's like it's gotta be.
I mean, for a bit of behind the scenes content, literally everybody thought like
Yeah.
May through July-ish last year, like even
and then in mid-January it was like, no, it's not happening. I was like, God damn it.
I do wonder if we will find out like why it was so late eventually.
Yeah.
It was the
if there is a specific reason other than Nintendo being Nintendo, I don't know.
Yeah.
Lid.
The Nintendo Super Switch will launch on Friday, September 13th and cost $399.
Oh, no, that's too much. Hold on, let me back up. Okay, the date is wrong and the price is unknown. And the name is also incorrect. It is very clear from all the leaks. It's
I'm
just
gonna
Switch
post
2.
something in voice channel. But
Now, how would that be a yellow, Andy?
Oh, that's a good point. That's just a me being wrong. That's just a me being flat wrong. Okay, so
Yeah.
sorry about that. The Nintendo Switch 2 will. Oh wait, no, sorry. Well, Joe's busy, so Eli, would you like to read this one?
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 will feature backwards compatibility with the original Switch at launch, with performance updates being patched in piecemeal.
Hey, they did confirm back compat, but we don't know how they're going to handle performance boosts. All right, let's keep going. Lid.
Every single cloud game will still require an online connection to run on Switch 2, allowing devs to re-release games again.
This one still feels right. Like, I would still bet money on this happening on the Switch 2, but we haven't seen it, so. How do you feel about the prediction in general?
I mean, that it makes sense, you know, like I don't see why if you bought a cloud version on the Switch that they would just go, "Yup, that's transferable to our new native Switch 2 version."
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Joe, you ready?
Yep. Metroid Prime 4 will be a dual launch title for the Switch 2 and launch alongside the original Switch.
So I'm taking partial credit because I still feel very confident that it's going to be dual launch. And they did show it, but yeah. This should be gray instead of yellow.
Yeah. I mean, this could happen. Like, there's Twilight Princess happened, Breath of the Wild happened, so this is a possibility for sure.
I'm gonna let you in on a little spoiler, Eli. You ready?
Yeah.
Every other Nintendo prediction going forward is incorrect.
Holy shit.
Okay, Lid.
Well, let's see your version of correct.
No, is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Lid.
Oh no.
The next Mario Kart will be announced at the Summer Nintendo event and will feature multiple new cups with no tracks based on Mario games.
Yeah, no new Mario Kart. Joe.
Let's see. Next Animal Crossing game will be set in a small mountain town and launch spring 2025.
Now, I will say, that doesn't seem like a bad idea for an Animal Crossing. You go from the beach...
the next Animal Crossing game will be about a young witch looking for a cat in the Alps.
There was not a new Animal Crossing. Eli.
The next 3D Mario will be the holiday title for the Switch in 2024. And it will not be Super Mario Odyssey 2. It'll be a new
Now this could still happen, but there was not a new 3D Mario.
Not in 2024, and it's right there in the prediction.
Yeah,
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hey, I owned up to it. I accepted it. It's in red. You can see it. Eli, would you like to read the final Nintendo prediction of 2024? Or of 2023?
At the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal event, there will be a trailer for a Paper Mario game. That's a fake out, announcing Paper Mario for the next Super Smash Bros. Game, coming holiday 2025. Was this true, Andy? Did this happen?
It was not a new Smash game. Nintendo Google Stadia for 2025. God, could you imagine? I will say doing the Splatoon reveal thing that they did for Ultimate feels possible again, but who knows? All right. So these numbers are incorrect since I think I got one or two of them. Like I deliberately did the wrong color, but I'm my mistake. Or indirectly. But I got 59% of them wrong, 34. I got 11 partial, 19. 8 inconclusive, 16, and only 5 correct. That is a 8%. Not a great average. Not a great.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You know what's funny, Lynn? When I was creating this image, I was thinking of that exact quote. If I was a little more prepared, I would have the Sonic Unleashed D-Rank music playing right now. But yeah. Better luck next year, you know?
Well, I'm sure these predictions that you're going to make now will.
Well, you say that. But now it's time for Act 2 of the... It's time for the 2024 awards.
I forgot.
All right. Starting off with a classic list. The top 5 best streamed games. Number 5. Super Mario Brothers 3. That was a Wizard reference.
That's from that movie.
Mario 3 fucking rules. Also, I know I do it at the end of every segment, but I still think it's good to do this because, you know, you might not care or be paying attention and notice, oh, when did this fall? I don't even remember. So good to look back on the year. Anyway, Mario 3 kicks ass. I don't need to explain that. Mario 3. So when I was in first grade, I was at like a daycare section in my church before and after school, so my parents could come and pick me up. And in the classroom, there was a computer with an NES emulator and the ROM set there. And Mario 3 was definitely the NES game that I played the most. It is a really impressive 8-bit game. Miyamoto and crew at the time designed it around with the knowledge that it was the final project of that team before production and R&D on the Super Famicom started, so it was the big finale. It represented a huge shift as platformers in 1987 and some of 88 were going down a very Metroidvania rules, taking Dragon Quest mechanics and Zelda-inspired things and applying it into 2D side-scrollers. Mario 3 said, hey, linear fucking stage-by-stage platformers, they kind of kick ass. They're pretty great. And, yeah, Mario 3 fucking rules. It is impressive. I would also like to say, despite my grievances of the All-Stars port of 1, the All-Stars port of 3 is excellent. I believe I said to Lid earlier this year that, like, in a weird world where Super Mario Bros. 3 never existed as an NES game, and, like, the All-Stars version of 3 was a standalone release on the Super Nintendo, it would feel completely natural as a 16-bit game. I think that says a lot about Mario 3's quality, and is something I can say about very few NES games. Number 4. This is the best game that I played for the first time on stream this year. Portal 2. I only played the base campaign. I did not go through the co-op mode. Nope. Might do that someday. Lid, does the idea of having to solve puzzles with a ball and chain sound enjoyable to you? I'm gonna take that silence as a no. God, no. Eli, I know you've played Portal, but I haven't gotten to ask you this question. Do you prefer 1 or 2?
I mean, it's been too long.
Okay.
In terms of how they feel. I think 2 has better voice performances, but 1 is probably overall funnier. But they're both funny.
Yeah, they're very charming. Portal 2 to me feels like a perfect argument of what single-player AAA games used to be. It has a bunch of cool mechanics. It's a bunch of very well-paced out segments with a neat little story. It's like 6 or 7 hours, and it looks really, really pretty. And that's all you really need from a video game. Number 3. So, this obviously takes some credit to the fact that the Sonic Adventure 2 modding teams and out there have been putting a lot of work. But, man, I fucking love Sonic Adventure 2. The treasure hunting and mech stages are not perfect. They have a lot of problems, and I definitely understand why people can't stand them. I think there are enough decent ones, and mods also help, that I find them tolerable at their pretty good at their best. And only a couple that I would say are outright bad. They also don't overstay their welcome unless if they're named Mad Space. But, those speed levels, like Eli, you were kind of taken aback at how, like, the language that I used to describe, like, I was like, Pyramid Cave's alright, you know, and you're like, I think Pyramid Cave's pretty good. Keep in mind, I'm talking about a game that I consider the height of control in platformers and video games in general, mechanically as well.
I'm surprised because you seem to be downplaying some lows. I'm surprised to see this above Mario 3.
Yeah, no,
I would not put it above Mario 3.
I totally understand getting Mario 3. It's just like the highs of Sonic Adventure 2 are about as high as any video game can get for me. It's just
that's true, but then that space exists.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Oh boy. Number 2. Lid, would you like to read this one?
Let's go. Doom 64.
Yeah, this game rules. I discovered this game well before the Night Dive port. Back when it was released under Doom 64 EX, a fan conversion by the founder of Night Dive. I'm a little more critical of Doom 64's combat encounters and level design these days. I think it leans a little too much on just meathead Hell Knights and Hell Nobles. Just strafing fireballs back and forth as you keep dumping rockets and super shotgun. But there's still like the later sections of Doom 64 I think make up for this. There's a lot of still creative and good levels. And it also has the fact that it is one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen. Such a captivating and awe-inspiring vision of hell. Just wonderful, multicolored clouds of darkness and hell castles. It's real good. It's real good.
Also, the music is.
Number one. I don't know if
no, hold on. Before you reveal your number one, Pikmin Sweep, it's number one, baby. That was your favorite game you played this year. Am I right? Andy?
I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if you heard this, Eli. Resident Evil 4 is kind of a good video game. Some people have said that.
It's good.
I think obviously the highest testament to Resident Evil 4 is that the games industry spent 8 years trying and failing to make a game that had as good of camera angles and combat perspectives of Resident Evil 4 and never managed to surpass it as far as I've seen.
Even Capcom couldn't. They tried.
Yeah, they sure fucking did.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I would say about Resident Evil 4 to attest to its quality is that Resident Evil 4 is maybe the most highly regarded game among you guys, among my circle of friends and regulars who show up on stream. It's like that collectively, Dark Souls 1, and then I'm trying to think of like games beyond that are I guess Mario 64 maybe, but like broadly loved. It's like
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to think about that, but man, everyone loves Resident Evil 4. It's so fucking good.
It's perfect.
Okay, so I would not go that far. I think that I think that I would not cut them entirely, but I do think there are parts of the castle and the island that maybe should have been like cut the game down by a chapter and maybe make like Ada's side story a little bit longer if you want to reuse that. I think that would be fine. Like, I think the pyramid section is great, but it's complete filler. The other thing I would say, the one true criticism I have with Resident Evil 4, I hate the Krauser fight. I think the Krauser fight is not fun. I think
which part of it? The first segment?
The QTE, I'm not a big fan of any of it in general. I would like to. You made such well directed cutscenes that I would like to watch them.
Which version of the game did you play on stream?
The original. The original.
No, I mean the version on the version.
I played the HD project.
Okay, I can't remember whether the HD project fixes the QTEs or not.
It's not even the QTE. It's the fighting Krauser in the castle area when he's mutated.
Oh, that one's tricky, but like
my big problem with it is that like yes, you can cheese him with the knife, but it's a way that feels so obtuse. Like, yeah, the optimal way to beat Krauser is like feels like saying, well, yeah, you can just like, you know, clip through the wall and headshot him 3 times. That works real good. And it's like that's not what I'm looking for. But that is probably the single biggest improvement that Remake has over 4. I think I like some of its writing and level design. I think I find more charming than the original in ways. But like, man, Krauser's so fucking good in the remake. Anyway, time for the other stream list. The top 5 best soundtracks of games I play. I figure, you know, doing a bottom 5 list isn't boring. I don't play enough games that I truly hate to make a compelling bottom 5. So this is a little more interesting. Starting on, and it's also something that is a surprise because, you know, I've talked about soundtracks that I like a lot this year. But you know, I haven't gone over and made a list that I update throughout. Like you don't know the broad specifics. I will also say that oh, Undertale will not be on here because it doesn't get to be here 2 years in a row. Even though I did do Pacifist Run in January 2024. With that said,
Yeah, because was it your number one last year? Or was that
yes, it was my number one. Number 5. Doom 64, the best song, Crystalline Chaos by Aubrey Hodges. For context, Lid, that is the level that plays in Eye of the Storm. That's the level where you start in the moat, and there's like... It's not the tall castle, it's the one that's like wider, and you you have to get the keys to get gates, and there's like a bunch of stairs leading up that you can immediately go up to, or you can go around. Anyway, Doom 64. I think Doom 64 and obviously PlayStation 1's Doom, since that music was carried over from that port originally, but it has such a like distinct, uncomfortable sound that really elevates it beyond God. I love Bobby Prince's works for Doom 1 and 2, but this is such a unique and wonderful sounding thing.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet a lot of that's also because Quake had come out.
Yes,
roughly around a
obviously.
similar time, and I think they were kind of
and if I can be honest, I think I like Doom 64's soundtrack more than Reznor's for Quake. Not to say Reznor's bad.
It's definitely more ambient than the Quake one. Yeah.
Although I will say I do like Quake, but yeah. Number 4, a soundtrack that I know Eli's heard of. It's Donkey Kong Country. Best song, Life in the Mines. That's the song that plays on Winky's Walkway. And
you don't have to tell me what the
just making sure. My apologies. I will say, I could make the argument that counting games called Donkey Kong Country, I guess not excluding the GBA ports of 1 and 2, I could make the argument that one's soundtrack is the weakest, in the sense of like, because if you compare it to 2 and 3, I think its use of instrumentation and it sounds a lot less it's not as complex as the melodies aren't as complex as 2 and 3s are. I think they're a lot more simple sound like it is. DKC 1 is probably the most video game. Well, 3 also sounds kind of video gamey, but it's different.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it's great, but it kind of reminds me of like Sonic 2 versus Sonic 3, where it's like the songs are a little shorter, they're a little less varied, but it's still like, yeah, it's a great fucking soundtrack. Obviously, I'm just saying that like it's got very high competition. But yeah, no, I don't want to take away from the fact that DKC 1, phenomenal soundtrack. All of David Wise's work is pretty good. So here's one that I think might be a little controversial, but thinking back on music that I listened to that sat with me, this feels right belonging here. Number 3 is Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, that's a good soundtrack.
It's really good. It really has this strong, like, it sells the atmosphere of Metal Gear Solid 1 very well, in a way that is very appreciated. The best song, because I listed 4 people here, because Metal Gear Solid 1 does not have credits for who composed what songs, so I just went, fuck it, I'll list everybody. Duel is the boss theme. I don't know if it's my favorite boss theme I've listened to in a game from this year, but it's a real good one. And the fact that it is the sole boss theme that plays in, and I never got sick of it, is a very good sign. Number 2, Sonic Adventure 2. Best song, That's the Way I Like It by Jun Senoue. That's Metal Harbor.
Why didn't you just fucking say the Metal Harbor thing?
Because that's the title of the song.
Okay.
I didn't say best music in a level, Eli. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack rules. It is probably Jun Senoi's best work. I like 3D Blast. I like Adventure 1. I like some of his later contributions, like Generations. I can't stand some of his later contributions, like Sonic 4. But,
Oh God, Sonic 4 soundtrack is like bad in an already bad game. It's like
No.
yeah, I knew
No.
someone was gonna crawl out of their fucking cave.
That soundtrack's good. If that soundtrack was like in any other game, people would love it.
I think the
It
songs
doesn't
in
help
Sonic
that
4
it's,
are good. The instrumentation choice is dog shit. And
it
every
just feels so weird
No.
what they're trying to do with the soundtrack.
yeah,
of
it
the
feels
game.
like
If you'd been on the internet in the 90s looking up MIDI and mod archives, you'd be singing a different tune.
I have listened to so much MIDI Doom music, Lib. That's not, I am immune to that criticism. Anyway, number 1. Did you know Castlevania Symphony of the Night has a good soundtrack?
I'm just hearing this now.
Yeah, it's real
You're just
good.
telling me now for the first time.
Best soundtrack of the gen, I would argue. Dracula's Castle fucking rules. Great song. A lot of good songs I could have chose. Maybe I should have gone with I Am the Wind is the best song. Who knows? But, real good. Anyway. Now on to the lightning rounds. These are just quick little, no list. Just here's individual awards. I did try to organize them a little bit, but it got a little messy. So this slide is just awards for the stream. Starting off, we have the most streamed games of 2024. Eli, would you like to guess what game got the most streams of 2024?
Well, I feel like you kind of just almost said it, but I was also going to guess Metroid Prime 2.
Yeah, of course. It was Metroid Prime 2. Resident Evil 4 came in second, but I think it's like three streams behind it. Part of it was I got lost, but even if I did play and you cut echoes down by a bit, it's like, man, this game's fucking long.
You know what? You finish it, though. Good on you.
I did finish it.
I've never finished Echoes because I'm like...
A lot of people tap out after the when they get to the treasure hunt.
Oh, Eli didn't even make it that far. Eli made it to Alpha Blog,
I got the jetpack, fought the boss, and tapped out.
Because he died.
To be fair, especially if you're not using save state, I don't know how I fucking did the Spider Guardian.
Oh, God. And it's even worse on GameCube controller when you don't have Spring Ball.
Oh yeah, no fucking.
And it also, I think, does more health and damage. What a sadistic
did
fucking
it back
thing.
then, but I don't know how.
I do like Prime 2 though. It almost it's a very charming game in a lot of ways. But you know what is the thing that I think is a good mark of Prime 2? It was a game that I kept doing 3 hour long streams of, and with very few exceptions, I was never like, all right, can I reach a good point to wrap this fucking thing up? So that I always was willing to play more. Worst streamed game of 2024. Lid, would you like to take a guess at what could be the worst game of 2024?
I forget, did you play Sonic Blast this year?
Oh fuck! Wait. No, because Blast was last year, because I did 3D Blast last year as well. Yeah, Blast was last year. The worst game I streamed this year was Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue.
Oh, no.
Me trying to get the razor.
I
out of her
fucking
hand.
told you those games were rancid as soon as I saw them.
I mean, to be fair
to
to Ty 2, you can do much worse with 6th gen 3D platforms. It's not good, but that is a very long, deep, dark hole to fall down. Ty 2 still makes a lot of the same mistakes. It's got so many vehicle sections and bad combat things. I'm just like, I'm here to jump around, dude. Could you? But it is charming in some ways. The sound design is bad, but I'm happy these games exist on modern consoles with HD remakes. It's funny that they're still
Andy,
around.
you go on your stream, and you're tormented by Ty, and then you go to your podcast and you're tormented by Ty. You can't escape it.
I will still always give Andy shit for not having Ty show up on the last episode.
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
Andy, you got.
she
gotta
was
be Ty
busy.
to
I
come
didn't
on
feel
the
like
episode.
bothering her with this, but yeah, it would make sense. I kind of wish I got Rocky on there, just like, hey, you're Australian. Look at that. Anyway, moving on into more positive news. The best streamed narrative of 2024. Basically, the best story. There are a couple candidates here. Halo 2, Metal Gear Solid, Link's Awakening. But I'm actually going to have to give it to Portal 2.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about
Makes
Portal.
sense.
Here's the thing about Portal 2's narrative, and I think I said this on stream. Oh wait, I got Gessler said recount. I was there for part of that one. It doesn't. Let me tell you something. Tie 2 does deserve it, but I finished it. Portal 2. Fucking. If Wheatley was 5% more annoying, that game would be unplayable.
It's just the right amount.
Yes. Yes. They managed to fucking nail the exact right lovable doofus in his voice
It's
direction.
because they got Stephen Merchant, not Ricky Gervais.
Oh god, if they got
Oh,
Ricky
God.
Gervais.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
Merchant
Think of
fucking...
that.
The worst part of playing Portal 2 was realizing, oh god, Wheatley is reacting to solving some of these puzzles like I am. This is a very dark place to be in. Anyway, also GLaDOS is great,
Brought up
and
multiple times on your stream of you being Wheatley.
and J.K. Simmons fucking knocks it out of the park. He's always
Yeah.
enjoyable whenever he shows. I think this was the start of his like big run. Like he had a big run of 2010's voice acting, and this was like the start of it. So now for the that's all I'm going to be talking about my streams for the rest of the stream, at least deliberately. Oh wait, no, I forgot hardest streamed game. My apologies. Eli, you know what this is.
Is this Pikmin one?
No, it's something
No.
that I had a more frustrating time with because of my.
Is it Luigi's Mansion?
No, that was last year.
That was that last year? Yes,
It's
it was.
Ape
I'm sorry.
Escape.
My mistake. I don't know, because you're bad at many video games.
I am bad at many video games, but the
yeah,
fact that I
it's Ape
gave up
Escape.
and was like, I'll come back months later. That I think that like overpowers the individual challenge. I also don't think I played like there wasn't a clear easy answer for this. Pikmin 1 I did consider though. But
I feel like you having to rage quit for a few months, like actually, it makes it deserve this spot, even though there were some funny fuck ups in Pikmin
Yeah.
1.
yeah, I mean there were funny fuck ups at Ape Escape as well. Let's be real.
I just love your realization when you were fighting the Snagrit. That's the bird snake.
Yeah,
And then you realize there were 3 of them.
that was miserable. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be better next time I play Pikmin 1. Who knows when that'll be, but I'm sure I'll do it. Time for some 2024 awards. Starting off with the best boss fight of 2024. I'm going to have to give this honor to Mephiles the Dark from Shadow Generations. This fight rules.
So I'm excited to play this.
So one of the things that Mephiles does in this game, Eli, is that he like lunges at you out of like because the fight takes place over like purple goop that you're constantly moving around in. He jumps out of it and lunges at you with an energy sword that looks identical to the one that Vegito creates. This game is so fucking shonen, it rules.
As it should be.
Also, it's very funny. So this game, Mephiles, unlike everyone else in 06 or in Sonic Generations, actually remembers the events of Sonic 06 happening and is like, wait, because the ending of Sonic 06 is the timeline gets changed and the events of the game never happened. Is him going, wait a fucking minute. This is my chance to be alive again. Shadow, I'm gonna fucking kill you and get my revenge. And meanwhile, Shadow's just like,
You don't deserve it.
Shadow's just like, who the fuck are you? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's great.
That's Memphis, Tennessee.
Lid, would you like to take?
Most scrunkly characters.
Would you like to guess who wins this award? It's a little bit of a cheat, but I think you will understand.
A cheat.
Or at least what game the award is from.
There's a lot of games.
There are.
I don't know.
The entire cast of Euphoria, the Saga 2.
Yeah.
That game, if it had more than $5 budget, it would be like a serious contender for Game of the Year. But unfortunately, like, they put all of their money into the wonderful little assets, the great remixes, the decent... So the platforming, it's kind of like Amazing Mirror in that, like, you're going... Like, imagine, like, if a Kirby level was structured like Amazing Mirror, where it's, like, it's kind of, like, non-linear broken off paths, and then you go to the end, and that takes you back to the central hub, which you can then expand to other levels to. But the thing is, like... It's kind of a cheapy roguelike stage, and the game's a little too short for its own good. But what's here is still very charming, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. If it had, like, 2 or 3 more levels, this might have been like, oh man, this, because it was delightful. But it's like, I kind of got to the end of it, and I'm like, oh, that's it? Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, the best weapon of 2024. There's a lot of candidates here.
For many years running, is the same winner, gun.
Actually, no.
Can't beat gun.
There's something you can't.
Shit.
You know what can beat gun, Eli? Throwing a bear trap at someone's head and it closing around their neck. That's I'll talk about I Am Your Beast later, but that is an incredibly sick fucking thing. Anyway, funniest game of 2024. Joe, I'm pretty sure you've played this. Would you like to take a guess at what this is?
Funniest game you played in 2024?
Yeah, you might have also played it. But it is a game that came out this year.
I'm actually not sure. Shit.
The answer, and this might surprise you, is Fallen Aces.
Oh yeah, that game's pretty funny.
There's a lot of good Mook dialogue. So
There's a couple of like uses of dated Twitter memes that did like annoy me, but by and large, like the core writing is pretty funny.
Yeah, no.
Like haha, we put the funny rat Easter egg in there. It's like okay, haha, but the actual like Mook dialogue as well as the fucking yaoi dialogue between the Batman guy.
Yeah, and between not Batman and not Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Lightning round 3. Starting off, the game I most missed out on. Eli, would you like to take a guess at what this is? It's something you played.
Something that I played.
That I wish I could have. A game that I
would be
that I wish I got to play around this year. Got around to playing around this year.
Yeah. And you haven't played it yet.
Yes, but I could have. It's not like on a PS5 or a console I don't own, or it's not something that I couldn't run on my previously bad graphics card.
Is it Balatro or
no? Although that is a good answer. It's Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Actually,
I wasn't sure if you were interested in that.
I definitely was. I liked Monkey Ball 2 quite a bit. I wanted to give that a chance, but slipped through the cracks.
See, you say you like that game quite a bit, but every time I said, Andy, do you think you want to stream Super Monkey Ball 2?
Because
you tell me to go fuck myself.
Because streaming that game would require me, by my own rules, to beat that game, something I don't know I can do. That game, Super Monkey Ball 2, is a wonderfully designed game. It is also maybe more challenging than every single game that I've beaten on stream.
Yeah, that's why you should play it.
I'm sorry.
It can't be harder going forward from there, is what I'm saying. But no, I like Banana Rumble, and I hope that you do get around to it.
Lid,
Maybe
would
when
you
it
like
gets,
to guess what the
Esported
biggest
display.
disappointment of 2024 is? I will say it is not something evil. It is something just that you went, oh man. Because it's something you were also disappointed by. And it's something you played that I didn't.
Hang on. How could you be disappointed by a game you didn't play?
You'll find out in a second.
What is it, Andy?
Oh, I thought I was waiting for Lid to give a guess, but I can just go
I
and do it.
don't know. Fucking Stellar Blade?
No, I was not invested. It was Penny's Big Breakaway being broken at launch. That was really fucking
Did they-
disappointing.
Did they actually fix it?
From what I understand, it's stable now. But
they fixed some of the issues. Like when it came out, I had a lot of audio issues on PS5. Those aren't there anymore, I don't think.
and I think there were like collision issues and other technical problems. I understand that they needed money and had to shit, but it's like, man, guys, you should have waited an extra 6 months, because man, worst show of 2024. So I would like to give a little context for this one. There were a lot of bad shows this year. If I'm being honest, I probably should have named this category most disappointing show, because the worst show of the year was the 2024 Silent Hill presentation, where Konami spent a lot of time talking about Silent Hill content and product. But no one expected that for being good. Jeff Keighley's summer show this year, very, very bad. But I didn't have huge expectations for that. You know what? I had relatively low but still manageable expectations, and Yacht Club did not manage to meet one of my expectations. I was like, all right, I don't care what's going on. Just give me a date for your new Zelda-like thing. That looks really good. I'm sure I'll like that. No, they decided instead, hey, actually, you know what would be great? What if we made Shovel Knight more complicated to purchase? And here's a slight implication that we're making a 3D game, despite Shovel Knight despite being done with the Shovel Knight expansions for 5 years now. It's like, okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but it is the thing that most this year that I was just like, why wasn't this a Twitter thread? Why wasn't this a Blue Sky? Like, why did you make a video? Because making a video raises my expectations, and you fell well below them. I Am Your Beast, I'm giving the best soundtrack of the year. I don't have any, like, particular songs that I really want to point out or anything. Like, it's just, like, I Am Your Beast is a game about constantly replaying little small moments and levels. And the music tracks all like stuck out as like fit like a glove, and I never got sick of any of them. So yeah, that's it. Final, I think, yes, this is the final part of the lightning round. The big winners and losers. Two broad categories here. First off, the biggest fuck up of 2024. This was torn between two things. The first thing, the thing that I almost gave it to, was the closure of Tango Gameworks and Arcane Austin by Microsoft in the spring. That was really bad. That was insanely cruel. It was a short-sighted decision, and it reflects bad omens for the company going forward. But like, if we're being honest, Tango managed to get back on their feet, and none of the games, any of the studios they closed then, cost $400 billion.
I can tell you for a fact that Hi-Fi Rush, I believe, cost under.
Yeah, like what is Tango's most expensive game?
Oh, wow.
Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Evil Within 1, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that
and
makes
I'm pretty
sense.
sure that was under 50 million.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't think they've ever made a game for more than like 35, 40 million.
Did they even announce new Shovel Knight collabs? I think they might have. I don't think they had any major ones. I think they were like, here's more of our spin-offs, and it's like, I don't care. But yeah, no, Concord is the biggest fuck up. Best moment of 2024, for me personally, came in late. Getting the final comic for Team Fortress 2 was
Oh yeah,
such
I
a
would have seen that coming in a million
wonderful,
fucking years.
heartwarming moment. Eli, do you know how
Yep.
long I have been waiting for
Nope.
the Team Fortress 2 Comic 7? To give you
No
context, both trailers for Metroid Prime 4 came out in between releases of the Team Fortress 2 comic.
I see.
Yeah, 7 fucking, almost 8 years. And they managed a good ending. An ending that I am happy with. An ending that made our mutual friend Rai cry. I'm happy with this. So now, it's time for the biggest loser of 2024. Now, there were a lot of big fuck-ups. As we talked about earlier, both Sony fucked up massively with Concord, Microsoft firing a bunch of people, closing a bunch of studios, ruining a bunch of things. Very bad vibes. But both of them had things the year that I was like, that's good. Ubisoft, the same thing. A lot of bullshit this year. But they did make that cool new Prince of Persia. So I feel like I want to give them a little bit of slack. The company that I am putting as the biggest loser of 2024 is someone that I would say had literally no good news this year. Just only bad news. Would anyone like to take a
I
guess?
can guess what it is. It's Unity, isn't it?
No, because Unity also I don't think was in the news enough. They also the big Unity fuck up was 2023. Good. Anyone else like?
Was it 2023 or am I?
Yeah, I think it was 2020.
I know who it is. It's Embracer, isn't it?
No, because most
Oh.
of the burning down happened last year. Lid, would you like to take a guess?
I don't know. These past couple of years have been so fucking bad that it's like, who could it be?
The biggest loser of 2024 is Warner Brothers Interactive.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah.
I don't think any of our guesses were wrong.
No,
wrong
you
in the
gave
sense of,
good,
like-
valid answers. But,
Yeah.
so WB is on here for 3 main reasons. First, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. What an embarrassment. You took the developer of 2 or more games, depending on how you want to frame it, that managed to trick millions of people around the world that license games matter and are good. And you made them make complete and utter slop. Destroying the studio and ruining their reputation. You then released Multiverses. You decided, well, we want to improve it to try and get players up. So let's switch engines. But we're only going to give you a year to go back in hiding. So it came back broken. And I was torn. I was like, I don't know if I can give them. But the thing that closed it was at the end of the year, Mortal Kombat 1's DLC got canceled. Mortal Kombat is the only thing they have had for years that have been successful. It is also the only IP they use that is actually just a video game. What do they got? If they fuck up MK, it's like what else do they got?
I mean, they got plenty of IPs from like Monolith, but they ain't resurrecting any of that
I
shit.
mean, like,
Where the fuck is Wonder Woman?
Mortal Kombat 1 sold well,
Yes.
but I'm sure it's so expensive that like they needed some of that DLC money to get it back. It
Also,
didn't sell. The first
It-
wave
it
of
had-
DLC
it also
didn't
had a
sell
quick
well.
drop-off.
They had to cancel it.
and the Switch version was criminal.
Yep.
So that's that.
I'm willing to bet it's going to have the lowest entries at Evo this year.
That would not be surprising. Biggest winner of 2024 is the opposite. Is a company that I feel like had like every month it felt like something was going right on their end. And I'm gonna be and I thought for a while it was gonna be Nintendo. There were a few other companies that I was like, an alright year. But man,
I wouldn't say Nintendo was a failure this year, but it was just
no.
kind of a coasting year for them.
The biggest winner of 2024 is Sega. So let's break down what they had this year. Persona 3 Remake was controversial at $60, or was it $70? But, you know, it was still like a perfectly fine version of the game. But then Atlas also came out with Metaphor ReFantazio, one of the most critically acclaimed things of this year. They managed to publish, what's the developer of Muramasa the Demon Blade, their new game?
With Atlas, by the way, they also released the re-release of SMC5.
Yes, and that's a little controversial, but, you know, at least it was a very well-received version of the game. And then, you had, Eli, you played it. What's the big, very pretty-looking strategy game that came out this year that everyone loved?
Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord came out this year, and people loved that. And then, you know, Like a Dragon 8, their own continuation of the RPG series went very well for them. Very good reception. But they also gave to people who like wacky cartoon platformers. They nailed the return of both Monkey Ball and Sonic the Hedgehog this year. Just a very broad, this is the thing that I'm looking for, biggest winner. And is something that checks a bunch of boxes. And Sega certainly did this year. Were they still a shitty and evil corporation? Of course, but I think it's worth respecting them on this. They won. The only thing that
I guess one more thing is Virtua Fighter 6.
Oh yeah, the trailer for that and that studio's other new game set in like 1920s Japan that looks really cool. A lot of good stuff. So now we're done with the lightning round. It's time for the two final lists this year. Starting off with my top 5 games of 2024. Number 5. UFO 50.
Nice.
So UFO 50 is a very interesting game. In terms of individual things, like Lid, I remember we were talking about this, and you were like, UFO 50 as like a thing you play to completion, you look down on it more than the sum of its parts, because it's like it's not something that you want to like finish. And I totally understand that. But I kind of look at it the opposite way of like UFO 50 is something where I have 50 delightful retro looking and presented games, though debatable how styled they are. That's something I'll talk about in a second, but like it's like 50 good games. That's an incredible track record. That they made like sober Action 52 is a real fucking achievement. And while I would have maybe preferred a few more like traditional takes on genres, like I kind of wish you had like a racing game or like a Mario in there.
There's a racing game.
There is? Which one?
Yeah, the Big Bell Race.
Oh, I haven't got. Yeah, true. Okay, fair enough. I should probably play more.
I don't really like it. That's not one of my favorites in there.
But I'm a little more traditional. Maybe like a take on a sport. And you know what else is the big thing that I would change about UFO 50 is I kind of wish it had less games so that the games they kept could have more music. I feel like there are points where it's like, oh, I get to a new area or level and I'm like, oh, it's this song again? But, you know, UFO 50 is still a very impressive achievement that I don't think I'll like I can't seriously dive into it in the same way that you guys did, but like I'll be slowly picking away at it for the next several years, and I think that is a testament.
I won't ask you to like go back and revise your ranking, because obviously you gotta do your ranking and stuff. But I do wonder, as you maybe put some more time into a couple of the longer games in there, what you'll end up.
That is fair. That is very fair. Number 4. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown by Ubisoft Montpellier.
That was a good game.
Best single game of the 50. Probably Magic Garden or Gravitank. Those are both pretty cool games. I have not played all 50.
Magic Garden, or what was the other one you said?
The tank one, the Gravity Tank.
Warp Tank, yeah.
Warp Tank, yes. Those are both very charming. I also like the driving game with the paint. That's very good. But Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. So this is the first like new 2D platformer by the developers of the Rayman Origins and Legends team since Rayman Legends 11 years ago. And it's like pretty fucking solid Metroidvania. They got the juice. They really nailed it. It is a bit derivative of both Metroid Dread and especially Hollow Knight. And I think some of the changes it makes, like I think Hollow Knight has a much better handle on its badge system. Kind of drag it down a little bit, make things feel a little tedious. I think like Hollow Knight, it's a little too big. Although, when I say like Hollow Knight is like 40 hours. This game's like over 15 if you're being thorough. Not 100%ing, but doing most of the map. But this is some of the best platforming in any Metroidvania. The combat's pretty good. The story's decent for what it is, but it does feel like, oh, you can tell you had to cut some corners here and there, and that's kind of disappointing. But what is here is very good, and I know they're supposedly working on a new Rayman game, but like, I do not have long-term faith on the history of the studio. So, number 3 is a game that I finished less than an hour before I started this podcast. It's Crow Country.
That game's freaking epic.
That game is pretty fucking cool. I'm sorry it took so long.
It doesn't do anything new, but what it does very well.
It's a very, like, I was expecting, like, fixed camera and you can do the classic tank, but, like, with the camera and angle, it's like, no, this is a very solid take on, like, you manage to balance, like, dual stick action of, like, with the classic fixed camera and, like, more standard things. A lot of the puzzles are pretty smart. I got 14 out of the 15 secrets, Eli.
Failure.
Mainly because I just didn't feel like looking for the last one. How many did you get again, Lid, on your first playthrough?
I found them all naturally. I don't know what you mean.
Lid, how many did you get?
I think I only got like 7.
Okay.
Wait, Andy, did you check the lid of the car?
I did find the running shoes.
Okay, good.
Those were excellent. But yeah, no, like it's the gunplay feels good. It's interesting that both the Magnum and the revolver are secrets. But like combat's balanced well enough. It does feel like a game that I want to. I got an A rank, by the way, which is like I'm most surprised by. But like, what's here's.
I like this game a lot, but it's interesting to me that you said the gunplay feels good, because the first time I encountered the gunplay, I was like, nope, I'm restarting this with no combat. I hate how this feels.
Yeah, it's definitely reactive, but it works well as a horror experience. Like it's I would say structurally this is kind of balanced in between Resident Evil 2 and 1. Where it's definitely slower and more puzzles.
Yeah.
Puzzle heavy than 2, but not as combat heavy but still more combat heavy than 1 a little bit. And the game is pretty good about kiting you through and making sure you always have, as long as you're not getting lost, enough health and ammo. The story itself is also really, really good. The ladder is one of my favorite visual moments of any game. Like I think ever.
I think the ending of Crow Country is a little bit of a letdown.
It's a bit of a lore dump, but I think it works for what it is. I think Crow could have been a bigger mystery, but I do like it, and I kind of also appreciate that it, in some ways, leaves itself open if they want to do a sequel. Because it's like, well, the portal's still kind of there, so who knows, what's up with that. But, yeah,
I just like the environments in that game.
Yeah, no, the environments are all very charming.
Yes.
I kind of wish it is a little bit of a shame that we don't get to see proper sci-fi land, but what's here is still very good.
I don't think that I don't think since Luigi's Mansion 3 have we had a game like this where it's just like, oh, every single room is just like
Yeah,
this little toy.
and there's a lot of neat puzzles. Crow Country is a real good time.
The puzzle where you have to
And
like
unlike
figure
Luigi's
out
Mansion 3, it doesn't have a
base.
fucking sewer level.
Yes,
It's true.
well, you're
Oh
right.
yeah, it arguably.
Yeah, the end
does,
of the
but-
game kind of is a sewer level, but not. And it also has,
That's not a sewer.
yeah.
It's
Anyway,
underground. That's different.
yeah. Anyway, number 2. So the past 3 games are all games that I either, like in the case of UFO 50, have not properly finished, or I did kind of take my sweet time finishing in the case of Prince Persia and Mid Crow Country. The next 2 games are games that I got through fairly quickly and blitzed through. And let me tell you something. I had a great time with Shadow Generations. They fucking nailed it. This is the exact... I mean, it's obviously the right thing in the sense of Shadow Generations, in some sense, was an excuse to report Sonic Generations. It was a good way of building hype for the movie by being, look, here's Shadow. Here's a level that's based on one of the scenes from the movie. And that's all well and good. But, it would not be number 2 on this list if it did not have the best execution of 3D platforming in a Sonic game in over 10 years. Every single one of these levels is fantastic. And I also was pleasantly surprised by how well balanced the 2D boost levels are. They all have pretty unique and charming gimmicks. I think the last one is maybe a little weak, but it's still pretty good. There's enough story beats and dialogue things here that I was like, oh, that's charming. I appreciate that. But it's just like, man, it really got its hooks in me. And also, Radical Highway is pretty cool. I like Radical Highway quite a bit. Honorable mentions.
excited to
Oh,
play Shadow.
I had not finished Crow Country when I made this section. I forgot to update that. Have that be Echoes of Wisdom instead, because that would probably be my 6th game on here.
Sure.
But I've obviously talked more than enough about my feelings on that game. Fallen Aces is an honorable mention because all of the content in it is great. What's here is great, but it's not fucking done.
Yeah, it ends way too fucking.
Yeah, it's like
quickly.
it's like 5 40-minute long ish, maybe some are more, some are less levels that have a bunch of replayability and cool challenges and stuff. But it's like, that's not the full game. This is part 1 of 3. I'm very excited to play the full game, despite
I
not.
hope they finish it.
I hope they finish it. I really like its art style. It's got a lot of good writing. It's very like, it knows how to blend like pulp elements of like Dick Tracy stuff, Batman the Animated Series, a lot of Watchmen. I was not expecting Watchmen going in. But yeah. And my final thing is Going Down Turbo. This is a director's cut of the 2014 Doom mod, Going Down, made by YouTuber Syriac Harris. As part of a, just for the sake of making a map. He's a creative. This is the best thing that I played all year. Like, no question. I played Going Down a couple times. I most recently played through the original last year, and I was like, oh my god! Like, part of why Crow Country took so long coming to replay is that I noticed, oh shit, they redid it. I'm curious, and then it got my playing through Going Down is the closest I think any game has come to feeling like playing a Sam Raimi movie. Not in the sense of like it's this linear cinematic thing, but how it just constantly blends these like mean little jabs and moments and oh shit and scares, but with Syriac has a really tight grasp also of how to handle combat designs that are really fun and challenging. Turbo is also turned down a little bit from the original, which is a fairly challenging Doom mods on the higher difficulties. This is a more moderate version. I beat the original on difficulty 2. Hey, not so rough, and I beat this on Hurt Me Funny and had no problem. Yeah, Sonic is good. But unfortunately, the fact is, as much as I love it, it's not a new video game. It's a re-release of an old one, so it cannot be on the list. Anyway, number 1, as alluded to earlier on this year, I really liked I Am Your Beast. This game caught me completely off guard in 24 because I first saw it when watching the PC Gamer Show. They had a very slick, well-made trailer. So the conceit is this is a first-person shooter in short little challenges. The conceit where all of the levels are like 1 to 2 minutes long, and it's about completing side objectives and going for the best score and rank in a good time. And like accuracy matters a lot because the when and how you kill people, you get more time back on the clock, and it leads up to S rank, A rank, etc. It's all very well paced. There's also just like enough, like the stories, the voice acting is good enough, and the cutscene presentation, or like the cutscenes are like two people having conversations over a radio call with like fancy text and backgrounds to exaggerate, but it's presented well enough that you did manage to get attached. The soundtrack is excellent. It also throws in enough variety and gimmicks. Like there's like a set of like 3 or 4 levels in the middle of the campaign, where like your main character, the narrative gimmick of I Am Your Beast is that you are like an adjacent ex-Jason Bourne CIA type, like ultra badass. And in the opening of your game, your boss sends guys in the woods hoping to get you for your 4th one last job. So you're just killing everyone in the woods until they fucking go home and get the message. And there's a section in the middle of the game where you have like internal bleeding and are constantly like chugging health packs and running through because you're constantly taking extra damage, and it's balanced very well in a way that's not frustrating. There's a lot of cool other moments. There's a boss fight. There's several levels where you're being chased and having to dodge helicopter, like machine gun fire. All really well done. One of my favorite things is that I booted the game up in like late October. It premiered in August or November, and they added a DLC, like free DLC story campaign, where the conceit is that you are playing as survivors from the mission in like group therapy chat, talking about how terrifying you are. It's all really good. Yeah, no. This is a very similar kind of experience to a game that I was also looking forward to this year and knew about going in, which was Angerfoot. I was not very impressed by Angerfoot. I played it and I was like, this feels a little too floaty. The level design feels kind of cheap. It wasn't impressing me. This is very much the same. Anyway, that's all the awards. I'm going to go grab a glass of water because my throat's getting a little scratchy and I'm all out. And then we can get started into the Phase 3... or Act 3, the most oh wait, no, sorry, I forgot about my most anticipated games. Let me I'll quickly go over these. So I will say this before unlike the last couple years, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I don't really have anything that's like, there are a lot of games that I am excited for this year, but there's nothing that's like, yes, this game is coming out at this date and I'm definitely going to pick it up now. It's like, yeah, everything that I'm excited for is just like quarter at most. So yeah, but going through this list real quick. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I feel bad for this game because it's probably going to have to come out alongside the first new Mario Kart in 10 years, but hey, if they manage to deliver a good kart racing style game on PC with good netcode, I'll give that a shot. We haven't had like a serious kart racer since the last time there was a new Sonic game, and there was also a racing game, and there was also a Crash game. So I'm excited. Lid, do you think you might pick this up if it gets good reviews? Would you like to race with me on this?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Car game.
Yeah,
Sega
car game. Sega car game.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Number 4, the Shinobi reboot. I'll talk about this a little bit later, but it's like the leaked footage was like, oh, all of the movement and the jumping and the melee combat looks very nice. I actually played through a little bit of the original Shinobi and Shinobi 3 on emulator this year, and I found both charming. And I also really like Ninja Cube's previous Sega attempts. Like Streets of Rage 4 seems pretty good. I haven't played it, but their remake of Wonder Boy 3 is fantastic. Yeah, no, this is definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's coming out this year, but given the footage that leaks and the information that had and how far along it seems, it does feel definitely very likely. Number 3 is a game that I'm very much excited for. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. This was a game that I first became aware of watching this year's Latin American gaming. Like, there was a gaming event dedicated to Latin American devs. It's pretty good. That show had a lot of cool stuff that I was interested in. But this caught me. My favorite console of all time library is the Game Boy Advance. Part of it's partially due to just pure nostalgic preference, but also because GBA has a lot of cool games. So a good way to endear yourself to me is having your startup logo for your company be a GBA cartridge going into a Game Boy Advance with the Nintendo logo filed off. It plays like it's very... Minish Cap is kind of the base inspiration here, but there's elements of like Drill Dozer, the GBA Froggers. There's one other obvious one that I'm forgetting. The badge system for Mario and Luigi, which obviously started in Paper Mario, but is still in the GBA games. And it plays well. It's got really good sprite work. Soundtrack was good. The demo really impressed me. Definitely something I'm looking forward to. It's not credited for this year, but I feel like it's probably going to be here. Number 2. So I've not played Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2, but 12 months ago, I did play through Undertale Pacifist, and before that, a neutral run of the game. Toby Fox has me until the end of time. I am very much excited to play through 1 and 2. I think 4 is being beta tested right now, so they're definitely coming out this year. And
there's no way that you do not enjoy 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's no way. I will say
just Undertale, but arguably better.
I will say, in regards to I am Chapter 2, everything I've heard, I'm like, that's crazy good. I'm super excited. Whereas Chapter 1, it seems like, sure, that'll be good, but it's like that it doesn't have... Big Shot doesn't play
like
in that.
Shorter. Chapter 2 is like meaty.
Okay, that's very good to me.
But Chapter 1 is still delightful. And like you also have to consider just like how insane it was that just dropped at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you're aware, but
yeah, no, I remember like
as someone who played that. Of course, you remember, but like as someone who played that, it's like, what the fuck? But,
I still had moments. I had moments in like 2022 where I'd be like on my computer and be like, wait, what the hell is this survey program?
Yeah.
Because that's how they distributed it initially. It was like disguised.
The Madman. And then number 1, Metroid Prime 4 : Beyond. I forgot to write that down, but I have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 for almost my entire adult life. That game...
Am I really that much older than everyone else here?
I became an adult in 2016, April 2016, and the reveal trailer was summer 2017. So, it has been
I'm older than Andy.
Lid is I think 2 years older than, or 2.5 years older than me, and Eli is also a little bit older. Quite a bit.
So I think I'm the oldest person here, but yeah, fuck, it has been that long, Jesus.
It's been so long. Like, I'm not even going to describe how excited I am to play Metroid Prime 4. I'm just going to, like, 2017. Oh my god, they're making Metroid Prime 4. Metroid saved. Holy shit. This and Samus Returns is alongside that. That's great. 2018. Well, we didn't see Metroid Prime 4, but I'm sure we'll see it soon. 2019. Well, Retro has only made good games so far. So, it's fine. I can wait a couple more years. 2020. Damn, I hope we get something Metroid related soon. 2021. Okay, Dread's good enough to fill the void. I'm happy with this. 2022. Oh, hey, Prime Remastered. That's cool. Can we see Metroid Prime 2? 2023. Oh, they're going to make us wait until the launch of the Switch 2 to fucking see this, aren't we? 2020.
But hey, that'll be next year, right, Andy?
Shut up. 2020. 2024, oh my god, we actually got to fucking see this game. And it looks great. Sylux is there with a mock droid. There's space pirates again. Ah, man.
There's multiple beams again. Holy shit.
Oh, was there? I didn't even notice that in the trailer.
I
Yeah,
don't
neither
know.
did I.
I don't know if that's in the trailer, but yeah, that's a thing. There are multiple
Anyway,
beams.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, Prime 4, real good. Yeah. So now I'm going to go get some water, and then we can go.
Alright, I'm gonna have to dip. So.
Okay, that's understandable.
Bye bye.
Bye. Can't wait to see how wrong he is. Because if it's anything like last year, some of them I can call already.
I think Metroid Prime 4 is I think it's a good time to finally give Samus her traditional Nintendo weird dog sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh, water feels so good. Let me tell you something. Water, delightful. All right.
Lid, I would like you to tell Andy what you just told me.
I think Metroid Prime 4 is the perfect time to finally give Samus her traditional Nintendo weird dog sidekick.
Sure, why not? I thought you were going in the it's time to bring back the Justin Bailey colors. Green hair and purple spandex.
I mean, why not?
So,
But
normally, as you can see with last year, I start with Sony and Microsoft and ended this year. But, since I know these can go kind of long, and last year Eli was kind of waiting for the Nintendo predictions, more dip, we're going to start with these in good gracious. Yeah, let's just go right in. First prediction of 2025. Oh, no. Switch 2 will be revealed in January, a normal direct in March, and launch in May. So I'm still being kind of generous. I could see it happening at the end of this year. I cannot see right now, given how much hardware and tech stuff is leaking them. Like, this would not be out there if the Switch 2 wasn't this year. But
man, I'm just thinking.
But I see people being like, this shit is out in March. And it's like, no way. No fucking way. They're not going to do a 3-month rebound. That's insane.
I'm gonna be honest, man. We're on a double digit day of January. And I know that people, it's like, yeah, there's usually a direct in January. Oh, there's rumors floating around. I honestly don't think they're revealing this
So-
thing until March.
So I will say this. I think if they're just gonna do a, here it is, here's like a little bit of information like the Switch 2, that's what I think. I think yeah, if they do the full, here's information, here's a presentation on the Switch 2, that will probably come later. Like I could see that. But I think that I'm assuming they follow the Switch 1 structure of teaser, presentation, launch. So yeah. But yeah, I could also very much see not seeing it until February. I'm just going right now.
I have no idea. Yeah.
In order to tie Splatoon fans over, a Switch 2 exclusive Splatoon 1 remake will be announced. So let me justify my reasoning here a little bit. Because I have I was thinking about it and I'm like, well, Nintendo's obviously going to want a new Splatoon on the Switch 2. But like it feels a little like, I know Splatoon 3 launched 2.5 years ago. But like that feels a little too soon, you know? That feels like we barely had time for it.
Honestly, I think that there's zero chance that this happens.
Okay, you're probably right.
I do not think. This is
But the
likely at
reason
all,
of
yeah.
like, and it's also like, well, Splatoon 1 is a very important game, but it's like seeing it getting a Wii U port makes sense of like, well, if they're gonna do one more, this is like a smart way to do it. But we'll see.
They're
As
all
doing it
just
cheap.
like,
As is essentially Splatoon via stopgap.
I think that the thing is that most people who play these games, I don't think really care about the single player stuff. And the games are so iterative that like
Yeah.
the new one does just kind of replace the old one. And honestly, like the gap between Splatoon 1 and 2 was real small. I think that there's a decent chance that this year or next year they just have Splatoon 4.
Yeah, you could be
Or,
right.
I mean, Splatoon 3 is also backwards compatible, so.
But
if they just say,
part of the reason
Yeah,
why,
but it is like it's I mean, it's not like over, but it's in that state where it's like, oh, Splatfests are quarterly instead of monthly now, or whatever.
you're right, but here's my thing. Like, here's why, because I did think about that, and my justification for this is that on that front, well, Splatoon 2 was kind of rushed out there a little quick. And then yeah, we're still far enough out where it's like, if we get a Splatoon thing this year, because I feel like, yeah, that, you know, I could see us not getting Splatoon 4 until easily 2027. Probably not much later than that, but I could see that. And I think Nintendo's going to want something launchier, and it's because we're in kind of an awkward window where it's like, it's both close enough and isn't. I think this makes sense to me.
And do you know why Act 1 of your of this stream is my favorite every time? It's because you're like Homer crawling through the supplicant's hole.
Look, man.
Oh, that
I
guy's
have nothing to hide. Okay. So, there will be no new major lawsuits or settlements, or no new major lawsuits or settlements will occur in regards to emulation, but Nintendo's going to take down our own site. So the reason why I'm predicting this is given how things have been going and how things have been aiming at emulation so far, I think the reason why they did what they did this year was partially, yes, because Nintendo is a spiteful, hateful company that does not trust its fans at all. But it is also, I think the implication is the Switch 2 is launching soon. They're trying to scare people off and be like, no, you're going to wait a couple years before you start looking into fucking Switch 2 emulation. You don't want to do that. And there's going to be an info report that it's like, well, we're going to have Switch 1 games, multi-plat games out for a year or two, maybe. So this makes sense. But yeah, they're going to take down like a ROM site or something, because that's just what Nintendo does, you know? No new consoles will be added to Nintendo Switch Online in 2025 for the launch of the year of the Switch 2. This makes sense to me, of like, you've already got a pretty sizable list. There are some ones where it's like, you could add that, like, for third parties, I could see like Master System, Game Gear, maybe TurboGrafx. And for first party, maybe like GameCube or maybe even DS. That would be nice. But like,
Andy,
yeah.
I wanted to say something. Next year, if for some reason they launch the DS, you're not giving yourself partial critic because that's a handle. Hell, don't try to.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would not do that. I would never. I'm not gonna wheeze. That's not something how I would wheeze my, because that's what I mean. No, I did not know systems is what I mean.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair expectation.
They better not touch emulation games, not net. Yeah, no. Switch to 20 days, says Barry Arpin. Oh, yeah, I know you're going to remind me in chat. Okay, let's move on. Oh, this is supposed to say too. Nintendo will have a Miiverse 2.0 in the Switch UI, i.e. a more restrained social media service that's easier for them to rein in.
I don't think that this is a prediction. I think that this is a desperate wish.
I think you might be
but
right.
I'm on board with it.
But the reason why I'm doing this is that like the share button on the Nintendo Switch controller is fucking broken, and I think companies are kind of feeling the effect of losing that on marketing because of must-stunness. So I think Nintendo's like, well, if we make something that's ours, but we restrain what you can put. Like, I don't think they're gonna let people draw things again on this. God forbid. But I think this is like a more reasonable way. Like, you might have a buffer of like a few hours or something to post. They might do something like that to let the algorithm sort it through. But this feels like something that makes sense. Could be totally wrong, but we'll see. Pokemon Z to A will be the inverse structure of Legends Arceus. Most of the game is set in the main city hub, with only a few trips into the rest of Kalos. So, for those of you who don't know, Pokemon Legends Arceus it's basically structured like a Monster Hunter, where it's like there's a hub town where you have some side quests and NPCs to talk to, and then you've got like 5 main areas that you go to and explore and find new Pokemon. I imagine ZA is kind of going to be structured a little bit more like a Persona, where it's like you're mostly in the city, but they are going to have some side trips for side quests or something where you explore the rest of Kalos, but I don't think they're going to be as important.
Yeah, could be. We don't know much about this game.
No,
Yeah,
and we're gonna know soon because they've announced we're getting it soon. Lid, the Nintendo Music Act will still be actively supported by Nintendo throughout 2025, but updates are going to be spaced out. When I mean spaced out, I mean like longer than NSO releases. Because that's how it seems to be going right now. Like,
yeah.
It's Mother 3 will be added to Nintendo Switch Online. Japan only.
You know what? Those last 2 words, now I think it's real.
So something that I was going to do this on Monday. I've had a little time to edit some predictions, and I was looking and it's like, you know what? I need a little more negativity in here. This should be a little bit less of just a wish list. It still kind of is. This is something that would drive people insane. They would look at it and go, God damn it. Localize it. Nah. They're not going to acknowledge it. Reggie, give us Mother 3 is the most might be the most you ever get, and that sucks. Oh, this is supposed to say I made an extra slide in Mallet Ring Talents thing. But Fuck you.
Imagine that we get like a US exclusive GBA game instead.
Oh, that'd be...
This will not happen.
Fuck you.
This thing on screen here will not happen.
Fuck you. We don't get a Wii U. We're not getting Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess. Because the thing is, we have heard about Wind Waker HD for what feels like every year of the Switch's lifespan. Nothing. And
I will give Andy a partial credit on this one when we do not get a Wii U Zelda review.
The other reason...
But we also don't get 60.
The other reason why I'm putting Triforce Heroes on here, okay, is because I feel like all of their 3DS re-release, like Miitopia, Luigi's Mansion 3, technically DKC Returns because it has the 3DS exclusive levels, none of them have been the things people want. They haven't been Kid Icarus Uprising, they haven't been Link Between Worlds, or 3D Land, or Samus Returns. It's been shit like that. Triforce Heroes feels like the kind of thing where it's like, oh,
No.
thanks.
I really think an HD version of Federation Force is more likely.
You might be right.
I think that, like honestly, if you were to say $60 Link Between Worlds, I'd say, yeah, maybe. But Triforce Heroes, I don't see that happening.
Maybe. The other thing, there's a big difference, though, is I'm thinking about how Nintendo balances out the count. I don't think we're going to get 2 Metroid releases this year. I feel like we're probably not going to get Prime 2 or 3, because Nintendo Prime 4 is going to be the soul, because they want to give that game all the attention that it deserves. Whereas, with the exception of 2022, every single year there has been a box either something on the eShop in the case of the Crypt of the Necrodancer crossover, or a box on a shelf that says Zelda. Triforce Heroes could definitely be that.
I don't think so. I think that game's too low.
I was also
to
looking
bring
at
back.
things to be disappointing. This is one of them. Sylux will be a major antagonist, but the final boss of Metroid Prime 4 will be original. So my assumption is that Sylux is kind of going to be the meta Ridley in how he's used in Prime 1, where he's like the big inciting incident. Oh, you gotta follow down Sylux. But then, and when you get to the new planet, there is some new ancient conflict that is unrelated to that, and you're going to learn about that over the course of the game. However, Sylux will appear. He might even be multiple boss fights, but I don't think he's going to be the final boss. I think that he might be a red herring.
It'll be so funny if, like, what they showed was, the open core of Metroid Prime 4,
and that's the only thing Sylux.
He's the tutorial boss, and you just demolish him.
That would also be funny.
And he's done.
That will be funny. That would be partial credit, because it wouldn't be a major antagonist then. Alright, speaking of wish casting, a new Donkey Kong game will be revealed, set for next year. It will be both a 3D platformer and centered around the numerous animal buddies. So that last part, probably be me wish casting. The Animal Buddies haven't gotten a big emphasis in a Donkey Kong in a new Donkey Kong game since either Country or Land 3, and that would be nice. But there have been rumors. There have been a lot of rumors about Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong is the only truly major Nintendo IP that did not show up on the Switch. I don't know if the game's coming out.
Including like fourth stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No original title. We have not had an original Donkey Kong game in almost 11 years now. It's time. Especially since he's got, DK was such a big role of the movie. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, they have a new DK thing at the theme park. So.
Yep. I think Metroid Prime Final Boss will be unknown because Metroid Prime will come out sometime in 2026. Ooh. Don't say those words. They said they wouldn't. They said 2025 at the end of that trailer. They wouldn't have done that if they weren't confident, I don't think. Nintendo will announce an Advance Wars style 2-pack remake of the Golden Sun games. So this is wish casting, I admit, but I'm allowed to cast some wishes. I will also say that I think because Advance Wars 1 and 2 have like the save file compatibility, they make more sense as an Advance Wars 2 pack than Advance Wars does.
I feel like this is the kind of thing where maybe if they were gonna do this, they wouldn't have put that on the NSO.
I mean, maybe, but they put that is true because like Super Mario RPG, but I don't know. I feel like there were also like they put Link's Awakening remake on there, and retroactively, so maybe, but who knows? It's supposed to say 4, but yeah. No Kirby re-releases or new platformers. However, there will be a spin-off, and it's going to be a sequel to an existing spin-off. Which one? I don't fucking know, but it's going to be one of them.
We'll see. They must be working on something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're still also a couple years away from the 30th anniversary, so... But that's coming. Or 35th anniversary, sorry. Kirby will be the first non-Mario character revealed for Mario Kart 9. So I have a very specific reason. Do you two remember the Rosalina reveal trailer for Smash?
Yes.
Nope.
How it was like,
Because you showed it to me a couple months ago.
yeah, it was like a trailer for Mario Kart 9. It was like a trailer for Mario Kart 8, but it's a fake out. It's Rosalina. She's in Smash, isn't that? And you saw it because Kirby drove on Rainbow Road in the Warp Star. Then they put crossover characters in the game. Kirby wasn't fucking one of them. I don't know why. Lid, you own the booster carries. Correct me if I'm wrong. None of the characters in Deluxe were crossover characters either. I don't think they are. I could be wrong. I didn't look this up. But the point is, I have been waiting for Kirby and Mario Kart for a decade now. And since this will be the first opportunity for a truly new one, I think this feels like a safe prediction. For Mario's 40th anniversary, there will be a second Mario Game & Watch. A second Mario Game & Watch will be released, containing Super Mario Bros. 2 USA oh wait, no, that's supposed to say Mario 3. Sorry. The Game & Watch game included will be Fire. I kind of thought we would get one of these every single year. I guess not, but like I would like them to do this again. These are charming.
Sure.
And finally, my favorite prediction of the Nintendo section, maybe of the entire stream. Are you ready?
No.
The
Not
next
ready.
3D Mario game will be Super Mario Depths and will remake classic Mario level themes with underground elements. My logic here is very simple. Galaxy. Oh, we went up into space. Odyssey. Oh, we went around the world. Where do we go next? The answer, down. Also, mushrooms grow in dark underground places. It kind of fits with Mario theme, and, every Mario game previously has had the underground thing. I'm not saying I think this is going to happen, but I think this is like a
Why is it a prediction? That's what a prediction is.
Well, okay. I'm not saying that it's locked in. What I am saying is that, like, I have no idea what the next Mario thing is, but this does feel plausible. It's something that I think genuinely could happen. That's my main takeaway. Is that, like, this, I don't know what the next Mario game is, but shot in the dark, this feels right. Anyway, now time for Square Enix. I don't have a lot of Square Enix stuff, but we'll move on through them. First, Kingdom Hearts 4's revealed trailer will be a fake out for a different licensed game. I know we got the reveal trailer, but I guess re-reveal trailer. The one that actually has gameplay. Like, they're gonna fake us out.
Yeah, we'll know what you mean. That like there will be a trailer that seems like it's, I don't know, like a Moana licensed game and it's a big
Yeah, yeah. Or it could be Star Wars. You never know, because we did. I think like in.
I
if you
just
look-
named a Disney thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Dragon Quest XII will be taking a meta angle on going for a darker tone. The game will be about an outside force corrupting the world and our heroes trying to do the damage. So structurally, what I kind of think this is like is kind of like Twilight Princess, where the game is going for a more serious art style, but when you like finish a dungeon, the part of the map around it turns back into the more traditional Dragon Quest art style. And you can switch between the two with like portals and stuff. I don't know if this is likely, but we know literally nothing about Dragon Quest 12, and I think this would be a cute idea to do. Because if they are going for the more...
This is why I'm not gonna... I don't want to make fun of this prediction, because I'm worried it's the kind of stupid thing they might do.
See, exactly. I'll remember that when you hopefully remember that when you bring this up next year. But yeah,
They did say a few years ago they want to go with the darker tone. They could have changed their mind, but the logo is looks darker.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
We know nothing, and they could have changed their mind, as I said. But I don't want them to fuck it up.
I think this could be an acceptable one because you still have like sections of the game that are normal Dragon Quest, but mixed in with like the aesthetically darker. There will be a Final Fantasy remake / re-release this year. It's not going to be Final Fantasy IX or Tactics. We have been hearing about both of these remakes for years, and they could have just be waiting for the Switch too. But it'd be really fucking funny if there was, here's Tactics Advance remake or something. Here's a new a remake of the original Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. I don't know what.
I think it could be Dissidia.
It could be Dissidia. Yeah, that's a good prediction. Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier Console Edition.
Fuck you.
Fuck me. We're not getting any Dragon Quest ports announced this year. They're going to announce them next year because next year is the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, and then we already have some scheduled to come out, so.
Yeah. Oh.
Fair enough.
HD 2D Chrono Trigger. The game's 30th anniversary is this year. This feels like the time to do it if they're going to do it. And they've done so much else aside from Chrono Trigger.
I don't want that to be real, but you could be right.
I hope we get at least a re-release, because come on. Then you need to be able to play Chrono Trigger on console.
Styles.
I don't, but we'll, yeah. So now
they just put the SNES game on Monaco, put it on the Switch Online.
Yeah,
that
would be nice. Sega predictions. The Sega arcade cabinets in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii will be unlocked via side quests as Majima loot ships. So I imagine Majima takes over a ship, opens a box with a crowbar, and bam, there's Space Harrier in there or whatever.
This is a cute prediction.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it feels like, they haven't announced any of the Sega arcade games, and I'd hate to see them not be in there. The Alien Isolation sequel will be called Aliens Isolations and feature multiple xenomorphs. However, we're getting Atmos to CG trailer this year.
I feel like this is unlikely because I feel like film goers are just that little more savvy where they can tell the difference between a product called Alien and a product called Aliens, and I'm just not sure gamers are there.
That's true, but they're also targeting the Alien diehards, and I don't know. They'll have a xenomorph on the box. They'll have a xenomorph on the box making a 7th gen poster face.
No, they'll have multiple on the box.
What, the xenomorph is holding a gun and looking slightly down into the side?
Yes.
Or
yeah. Xenomorph pointing the gun to his head, doing the Borderlands pose.
We will see the Jet Set Radio reboot before the 20th. So I actually have reasons why I said this. So there was an article that I think I posted on my server, but I wasn't sure. Where they it was a journalist interviewing a bunch of people who probably have projects going on the Switch 2 or like indie games in the work. And one of the people they talked to, or no, that was a different article. That's for an indie game later. This was just like they said, hey, we hope to have do something for the 25th anniversary, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna see it. I don't know if it's gonna come out then. But, again, anniversary, I'm going to assume this is going to be a cool anniversary title. Who knows? But I hope it comes out and it's good. Sega of America will ramp up anti-union pressure in 2025. Bad thing, but Republican administration, this feels like something Sega of America is going to do.
Yeah, I feel like more cynical predictions like this are more likely to be true.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not wrong. Time for the Sonic predictions. Oh. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds will feature Sonic Riders hoverboards as vehicle options. Now these could be character-specific vehicles, but if you can use a hoverboard in this game, then I'm counting that as correct. Because I don't think it's going to play radically different, but you know what? Why not add one? They have said they're doing multiple vehicle styles already, so this feels like duh. Sonic Dream Team will come to PC and or consoles this year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's granted, I think it might be a little shorter than the window Fantasian had, but like, come on. It's Sonic. It's a 3D platformer. I'll give this game a shot if you pay like $15.
Yeah, Sonic's riding high right now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The Johnny, I'm not even going to try and say the last name, lawsuit will end this year with Sega settling out of this court. So the context behind this lawsuit is, I think, from what I understand, Barry Ardman says Dragon Quest 12 will be Pibby inspired. Oh my god, could you imagine? And also, I'm betting on Super Mario. But anyway, the lawsuit, how this happened was, I think, Live and Learn is in Sonic 3, the movie. He got a check from Paramount for that and was like, wait a minute, hey Sega, where's my money? He's also only asking for $500,000. That is not a serious amount of money to go to court over, relatively. So I am assuming he is like, look, let's just go to court. I can get like a cut, and then we can go back to working together and acting like nothing ever happened. So I imagine this is going to temper down. Who knows? The Sonic DC crossover will be a modest success, but nothing record-breaking. Yeah. Capcom predictions. Again, reasonably short. We're going to get the Mega Man Star Force collection before we get Legends.
Good.
Oh, Legends fans are so mad. They would be so fucking mad.
They should suffer.
Lynn, do you have any, as the biggest Mega Man fan here, any words on this?
You cut out after you said here.
We're gonna get the Mega Man Star Force collection before the Legends collections. Mega Man fans would be mad. Do you
I
have?
don't know. I hope we get both. I don't care what order.
Okay.
I haven't played either of them.
All right, Eli. Here's a prediction.
Ideally, we would get both. I would find the reaction funny to get Star Force before Legends, so I hope that's true.
Street Fighter Year 3 DLC will feature one character from each numbered Street Fighter: 2, 3/3 Strike, 4, and 5.
You forgot Street Fighter 1?
No. Although they might be like, here's an alpha character, which, you know, is valid.
Yeah, actually, you can't discount that because one of the alpha characters is Sakura. I don't know if you know this, Andy. People fucking love Sakura.
I know they do. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So,
can't discount that.
So that's going to be the hardest thing about your prediction.
Yeah. Considering Studio Clovers was just created, we won't get anything beyond interviews for more Okami news. Yeah, no. Like that trailer is the only thing they've done, considering that how quickly everyone who works at that studio left Platinum. Resident Evil 9.
I do wonder if everyone who is leaving Platinum is going there, like what the ratio
A
is
lot
on
of
that,
people
but
seem to be
we
going.
can
One of the director of Bayonetta Origins actually ended up at Housemarque of all places.
see. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting, yes. Anyway, I think it's like a senior game director. Resident Evil 9 will be the first Jill/Leon team-up game and ship in early 2026. So first off, I think that second part feels right. So interesting thing I've noticed about Capcom. They don't ship big games in the back half of the year. Like I feel like every Resident Evil game, modern Resident Evil game, came out within the first 6 months. Dragon Dogma 2 was first half of the year. Might have been July. Monster Hunter
Monster Hunter 6 was
Monster Hunter
Yeah.
was spring. Yeah. Capcom doesn't do big things in the back half. But given that Resident Evil 4 remake was Q4 2023, yeah, they're gonna want a new Resident Evil game out soonish, and I think 3 years is a reasonable amount of time. The second reason is that, while yes, we have gotten the remakes, the fact of the matter is, 7 and 8 were both Ethan-focused stories with Chris, and I think Ada was there. I think Ada was in 8, but like Chris was there. We did not have a bunch. So making a team-up game with the two most popular Resident Evil characters who have not been in a game in a non-remake in over a decade, it just feels like yeah, why not? Jill and Leon will both be playable in Resident Evil 9. I'm wish casting it into existence, and it's also going to be 9 that's next, not a remake. All right, time for the general predictions. Got a lot of these, so let's get through them. Konami will announce a retro Bomberman game collection, but it won't have the N64 games. So the reason why I'm doing this is that they've gone through a lot of their in-house handheld and 2D console games. They've done a Gradius collection, they've done Contra, they've done Castlevania. Yeah, they got stuff like Frogger. So I think now makes sense to start dipping into the Hudson back catalog they have. Bomberman is the biggest IP they have.
I feel like Bomberman is like a weird enough IP with like enough, like even back in the 80s, like enough weird spin-offs and like different like PC and console versions that are just bonkers. You could do like a pretty good like Digital Eclipse docu game.
Yeah,
people really like Saturn Bomberman. I know that, like Bomberman fans.
I didn't know
and
anything about Saturn Bomberman. That's interesting.
Yeah, so it just like if they can get like that, because like Saturn emulation's not in a great place, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
And people would be okay if it was only like classic Bomberman with like the N64 games being like something else. So that'd be cool.
Yeah. Barry Artman says Jill versus Leon. I'm calling it. Who knows? Yeah, but yeah, and it's also like looking at the Hudson stuff. Like, yeah, you might. What are you gonna do? You gonna do Star Soldier? You gonna do Bonk? You gonna do Adventure Island? Probably not. I'd like Adventure Island or Bonk more than Bomberman, but you ain't getting those first. Metal Gear Solid Delta will use AI to create dialogue for a few brief conversations. So they're mostly reusing the old stuff, but I feel like they're going to want to add 1 or 2 new things. And if you're not getting the old cast back, well, there's an easy solution for this. I mean,
we can't find someone else who fucking sucks to voice Snake. I'm sure that's not hard.
Thank you for your...
It's not hard to do a bad impersonation of Kurt Russell in Escape from New York. I'm sure some voice actor can do it.
Who himself is kind of doing a bad Clint Eastwood impression.
Fair enough. Pac-Man
World 2 repack will be announced to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Pac-Man. I feel like they're I don't know if this is going to happen, but the first repack was successful, and I feel like they're going to do something for the anniversary. I don't know what, but we're gonna get something, and that feels as good as any.
Limited Run Games presents Pac-Man 2: The New Adventure.
We'll get Eli to what's getting the limited run games treatment. OG Dragon Ball DLC will be shown off for Sparking Zero. I believe that we will see Devilman fire his heart gun at Frieza and instantly kill him at a Jeff Keighley show.
You're gonna be able to hit Jiren with the pillar.
Yes. I will say, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had a Raleigh. I wonder if Toriyama, since Toriyama's passing, if Dragon Ball is even able to use the Dr. Slump stuff at all because of that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Platinum Studios is either shuts down or bought out. There is one chance where this does not happen, and that is at the Switch 2 reveal event, they have a new game. That's it. Otherwise, I'm writing this company.
You know what? Like, it has to be also AL4. I don't even think that Astral Chain 2 will cut it.
I could see Astral Chain 2, but yeah, I think that could give them a few extra years.
That will not save Platinum, is what I'm saying. So...
yeah, no, they've lost so much talent. They've made so many... Hello, Stu!
Hello.
You missed...
What's up?
We're doing the prediction stream.
I have a prediction.
What's my prediction? What's your prediction?
Andy will finally activate Windows.
Not a fucking chance.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Just real quick, Stu. We're not going to go through all of the Nintendo predictions, but I'm at least going to show you the Capcom predictions that I had this year. If you would just like to...
You're cutting off.
I'm showing you some of the old, some of the predictions I've already made. Just for Capcom and some of the others, so you can get caught up real quick. Just check.
I can see that. For the Street Fighter 6 one at least.
Yeah. Could you keep going? It's we've here.
Yeah, no, I'm just showing Stu the two main slots. Just letting him get caught up a little bit. He doesn't really care about the Nintendo.
That's definitely gonna be a thing, gross.
Which one? Oh, the Metal Gear Solid.
Second one.
Yeah. All right, now let's keep going. So our last prediction was Platinum is either shuts down or is bought out. The new Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden reboots will launch in the same quarter and be within 3 points of each other on Metacritic. I see it. I see it now. You're going to have to pick a side. Joe Musashi or Ryu Hayabusa. This is going to be the discourse of I wonder which one of these... it's not going to be a big serious thing, but there is going to be a conversation on, because of how close people are going to be directly comparing the new Ninja Gaiden reboot and the new Shinobi reboot. Moving on.
I think Michael will be in it.
Michael?
Michael. You know about Michael? Alright.
Who's... Oh, wait, is that the main character of Yaiba?
No, I just said the name Michael. I'm fucking around.
Okay, that's what I thought at first, but I was
I just said Michael.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. For some reason, Bucky Barnes will not properly appear in Marvel 1943: The Rise of Hydra.
Can I just say, I had
Andy?
to look it up. I had to know. What do you think the main character of Yaiba's name is?
Michael. Is it Michael?
Is it Yaiba?
The full name of the main character of...
What's the name of the main
Yaiba...
character of Hunt Down the Freeman?
The main character of Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z is Yaiba Kamikaze.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Keiji Inafune. Anyway.
It's so awesome.
Amy Hennig is trapped in licensed game hell. So this is a team-up game in World War II. Yes?
Why are you making predictions for games that are not going to come out till 2027?
Look, you're not wrong, but they did say 2025 this year, so I'm giving them I'm like, all right.
Okay.
They said 2025. Look. So the structure of this game is that you play as Cap, but there's also like each player character has like a second like Mary Jane in the Insomniac Spider-Man as supporting character in the background, and like, well, obviously you'd make Cap's Bucky, right? Because he's like the big no, okay, so they're just not gonna put him in the game, and I don't know.
You know what I would have called this game?
What
Captain America versus Black Panther. That would have been a better fucking title.
anything would have been a fucking title than Marvel 1943.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a video game adaptation, apparently, of the 2010 Marvel Comics Limited series Captain America / Black Panther: Flags of Our Fathers.
You're lying.
That's true.
I'll ask Cole about this
On
later.
the Wikipedia page.
I'll ask Cole about
Produced
this
by
later.
Amy Hennig. That's the only reason
Wait, really?
anyone knows
Yes,
about it.
yes,
Wait, what? What, did they announce this?
Yes, they announced this
There
years
was
ago.
a CG cutscene. Yeah. They showed us.
They announced
CG
it
cutscene.
years before the 2 years before the CG cutscene. This is real.
Did they?
Yeah, this has been.
Well, I don't know if it's real. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor
This shit
Amy
looks
Hennig.
Like, this shit looks like graphics. I'm turning this off.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't care. Continue.
Valve is going to add traditional FPS game modes that aren't MOBA to Deadlock, but you're not playing them ranked.
That ain't happening.
Maybe. We'll see. I feel like Valve's, like, this is kind of, like, is going to take advantage of the hero shooter audience a little bit, but they're going to test the waters of it a little bit. They're gonna half measure.
Call of Duty used to have third-person modes. Anything can happen.
Exactly. Elden Ring Night Rain will have an Armored Core 6 boss as post-launch support. Why?
Oh, maybe.
Because nothing in this
Elden-
game fucking matters, so who cares?
Yeah, Elden Ring Night
Yeah.
Rain can have whatever the hell it wants in it. I ain't playing that shit.
Yeah, that shit
yeah,
looks
that,
like
that game's not real.
Yeah.
it's Elden. It's Elden Slop too.
Hitler appears in Marvel. It's Marvel Hitler. Hitler appears. Okay. All right.
Hitler appears in Elden Ring Night Rain as the main character.
Yeah, he's in the tank, like in Fusion Reborn.
Yeah.
Silk
just a joke
Song
about
will
the game
launch
being
within 2
immoral.
weeks of its next trailer. Now, notice, I did not say Silk Song is coming out this year. Just that if it does launch, they're going to shadow drop it. That I feel confident of. Like okay.
Instead, they should shadow drop more plush toys of all the different bugs.
They should do that. Yes. Instead of a
They should never release Silk Song. Be funny.
That's what it feels like.
They should release it, and it should be an actual song.
Yes.
They should release a Hollow Knight spin-off instead. And not mention Silk Song in this at all. Just don't even say that they're working on it anymore.
Instead of a
Just say, here's Hollow Card.
Here's Hollow.
Hollow Car.
Hollow Car.
Yeah.
Hollow Car is so funny. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. Instead of a SpongeBob game, THQ Nordic, who still somehow exists, by the way, will be releasing a cheapish Avatar action-adventure game to tie in the new Paramount. Basically, they're going to ship something that looks like a PS2 game that's based on the Avatar, the brand. Not the blue people, by the way.
Here's my second part to that prediction, if I may.
Sure.
That game is gonna be developed by Platinum Games again, and it's what's gonna shut them down. It's what's gonna shut them down. Two predictions combined into one.
Stu, that's an excellent prediction.
So that's what's gonna be the one. The affirmation. It's gonna be closing it down. Yeah.
All right.
I said Trump. What's Trump doing?
The Trump administration will intervene to protect Nvidia's stock once the price starts to dip. Yeah, I mean that like the stock number is overly inflated. They're going to have probably a decent amount of influence in the next Congress. This feels like no, these numbers are fake. It doesn't matter that the 5080 Ti that the 5080 is a fucking scam card. Nvidia
I
must
agree
be
that the numbers are fake, I don't know. I don't know that Trump will intervene to do that.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, no, in 2 weeks, because there is a chance of they're like it's out next week or 2 weeks. Like I don't want to say it'll be out the same day. I want to give myself a little bit of breathing room. 2 weeks is probably the most I can give myself where it's still in the same window as the trailer.
I think Trump will go on stage at some point and talk about Silk Song and recite verbatim
Yes.
the fucking
Yes.
Oni plays Zach.
Yes.
It'll be out when it's out speech.
It'll
like
be out when
that.
it's out.
All right, general predictions for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 will launch with around 58 on Metacritic and fail to recreate the character writing people liked in the first game. So for context,
This isn't a prediction. This is a guarantee.
This is
Yeah.
gonna happen, yeah.
yeah, because this game is supposed to come out in March. Good luck. The
The
weekend.
only thing that's not a guarantee is the actual score, because it could be even lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Playtonic's next in-house game will not be a platformer, but a first-person shooter.
What's Playtonic?
That's the ex-Rareware people. They're gonna make something like
What-
GoldenEye
what
or
else have they
Perfect Dark. They made Yooka-Laylee, and they've been publishing some other stuff, but they've only made Yooka-Laylee games.
Yeah.
You cut off on my
That's
end. I have
not
no idea what
true.
you said.
They didn't just make Yooka-Laylee. They're also making Yuka Replayly, the worst titled
they made
video
Yu-
game of the past several years.
And they made Yooka-Laylee in the Impossible Lair as well.
Which seems decent.
That's just Yooka-Laylee, though.
Yeah.
It's 2D
No,
Yooka-Laylee.
Andy, it is like if Donkey Kong Country really felt like it was made by British people.
I mean, I'm gonna
It's
give
like
that game a
evil.
chance at some point. I have it on my Steam, but yeah, no.
You'll see what I mean when you play it.
Subnautica 2 will be set on a brand new but fairly similar planet. So the context for this is that Subnautica, I think Below Zero, was an expansion to the original, a direct sequel to the original that took place on the same name. And I think the reason why they're giving this one a new number instead of just keeping up with subtitles is because they're going on a new planet.
So here's actually a much better prediction for that one.
Yes,
Andy. They're gonna turn because I don't know if you know about this. They're gonna turn that very famous mod for Subnautica 1 and even Below Zero of these gargantuan Leviathan
I've seen that.
creatures. But make them actual creatures, but not announce them. Like they'll be like. It's gonna be like a shock.
that's a good
like-
prediction. That is a better
Yeah.
prediction than the one I have, but I don't think
They'll
mine's
be
too
in
bad.
the game, but it's not gonna be like announced, quote unquote, right? It's like
Yeah.
there won't be like a fucking like the Leviathan Gargantuan trailer.
Also, Barry
They're gonna
Edmonds
pop out.
said that Playtonic will make Call of Duty 18. Anyway, industry layoffs and closures won't exceed 2025, but are going to hit a similar level. Yeah, shit sucks right now. It's bad. It's hard making
You want
video.
to see 2024.
Yes. I did mean to see.
But yeah, it does suck.
Sunsoft will partner with Limited Run Games to make a Chameleon Twist collection.
I don't know what that is.
What are you feeling, Lid?
I'm not a huge fan of limited run games, but it would be nice to just have those games available to people.
Yeah, and they usually are good about just like, yeah, you can get it on digital, whatever. The previous Tomb Raider collections will be followed up with a collection of the first Crystal Dynamics trilogy. However, this collection will lack a new graphics mode. This is because the new graphics modes in those games already kind of look like PS2 games, so they're not even going to bother with this one.
This is like the anniversary and
Yeah, it's Legends Anniversary and whatever the third one is.
And what was the other one again?
I don't remember.
Underground.
Underworld,
like
I
that.
think.
Underworld. I like the anniversary. I have no opinion on the other ones.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Legends. Bloodstain, Ritual of the Night 2. will feature 2 simultaneous playable characters. I fucked up.
Will you be able? Will you be able to Jonathan Charlotte?
Yes, that is exactly what I am predicting, Led. So also on the note of Bloodstain 2, that shit's coming out because they have said, like in an interview, they didn't say, but it's basically all but like, yeah, no, it's coming out when the Switch 2 is out, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Because of the
Yeah, well, that's a typo.
because of
Assassin.
The Portrait of Ruin thing is a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Thank you.
that's a crazy prediction, man.
Assassin. So, I'll give context this
I
time.
can
Let
see
me
it
run this
happen.
out. Assassin's Creed Shadows will perform decently, but not as well as Ubisoft needs. As a result, Tencent will own Ubisoft by the end of the year. So, for context, too, there are talks right now about Tencent buying out Ubisoft. The big sticker is that the Yves Guillemot, or whatever his fucking name is, the head of Ubisoft, is like,
Yves
yeah, Yves Guillemot. Thank you. The head of Ubisoft is like, yeah, you'll we can still be in charge and we'll sell you the company. And they're like, no, you've been running things on the ground. If we're taking Ubisoft, we're taking new management. Because he wants his kids to run Ubisoft, but they don't really want it either. So he wants to stay in power. I think as the number goes down, they're going to get more and more desperate, and a buyout will occur before bankruptcy. I think things are looking very bleak for Ubisoft this year, and I don't think Assassin's Creed is going to hit the numbers they need. Barry Ardman says they're gonna make Subnautica 2 based around an underground planet and call it Subnautica 2 Depths. Ha ha.
For context, too, that's what Andy said the next Mario game would be.
That's funny.
Super Mario Depth. Yeah.
Super Mario Depth is really funny. The depth of Super Mario.
No, not Death.
Andy,
Depth.
I know. Depth, yes. I understood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Super Mario, the
If-
depth of Super Mario Galaxy.
You know what? If there's a game, Andy, called Super Mario Depths, I will just like give you 100 on your prediction score, regardless of anything else.
I'll give you $100.
Oh no, don't do that.
All right. Okay. Where were we? Ah, yes. Okay. I think this is the final slide of the general.
Yeah, it's not
prediction.
even a prediction. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no. GTA 6
always
will
do
be
that
revealed
shit.
on its own and not part of it. I mean, it's been a while since they've done they haven't revealed a new game since Red Dead Redemption 2.
And they haven't revealed any of their games in E3 since GTA 4.
I am excited to see what a $2 billion video game looks like.
Yeah, you want to know like how many views GTA 6 trailer 1, which I'm pretty sure was just like dropped on YouTube, has 233 million.
Yeah.
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 So they don't need a show.
No.
GTA 6. Yeah.
Yeah, they've not done E3 showing since GTA 4. That was just a guy with a tattoo on his arm.
When you get the sniper rifle in Atomfall, the game will reveal Rebellion did not take out the slow-mo X-ray vision headshot kills.
What?
You know how Sniper Elite has the slow-mo X-ray vision headshot kills when you shoot a Nazi in the head? They're gonna be in their new game, which is like a Fallout-like. Because that's kind of like VATS. So,
okay.
all right, this one's kind of subjective, but I feel confident. Marvel Rivals will be brave and add someone even Cole would consider a Glove Shadow. For context, I would argue the character of Jeff, the shark, that's a Glove Shadow. They've already got a Glove Shadow in this game.
Yeah. They're gonna add Spider Pig.
No, they're gonna add one of the.
should.
They're gonna add
From
no
The Simpsons.
Spider. Yeah, no, from The Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Spider Pig. Spider Pig.
okay. There will be serious discussion over whether Days of Ed Zabs Labs sells or shutter WB Interactive this year. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm not confident, but I do think that given how things have been going and how bad this was, and how they don't really have anything coming out this year that I can think of that's like in the immediate future, it's like. Plus, there were already talks before Hogwarts Legacy came out of this exact thing happening.
David Zaslav announces crazy new return of an old classic WB Interactive produced game. I'm proud to announce Fear Reboot.
Mm,
David Zaslav
I have
kills
no
himself, that's
hope.
what I wanna see.
Yeah. Zelda Company.
Zelda Company.
All right, time for the quote-unquote two other console manufacturers.
And Andy, I have a prediction for Xbox that I will save for the end of your Xbox thing if you do not
Okay.
mention it.
All
Phil
right,
Spencer will kill himself
I hope
live
so.
on stage.
Microsoft will port Halo the Master Chief Collection to PS5, and it will launch with all 6 games.
That'd be so crazy.
Because keep
And
in mind,
funny.
yeah, no,
Hilarious.
there are
Oh.
rumors. There were rumors of it that came out after Microsoft announced their show, in between last 2 streams, that they're going to do this.
That's so, dude. If they do that, it'd be so funny because they'll probably like be more functional than the version on Xbox.
Yeah,
That's gonna be dude. Oh, that's fucking good. That'd be so funny.
it'd be so.
It'd be so
It's
it'd be
over.
so
Like this
funny.
is the most.
Personally, but so funny.
Also, in hindsight, it was kind of weird that they did that trickle out shit for the Master Chief Collection.
On PC.
Yeah, where they made
People,
smart,
by
yeah.
the way, are like the person who leaked that Starfield is coming are leaking. Oh yeah, this is coming to
Yeah, I've seen.
PS5 and Switch 2. Like this haven't.
Yeah,
This
there's some questionable rumors I see
Oh.
during that Xbox, but yeah, no, there's definitely stuff that says this, and I could see it. And if it doesn't come at this, it could still come at like the E3 show or a State of Play. God, could you
Yeah,
imagine
I
if
don't know if
Halo
it'll
the
win all
Master
6
Chief Collection
games.
showed up in a State of Play?
But I feel like on the Switch 2, you could at least get like the original trilogy and like.
Yeah. Well,
No,
technically,
just
every
not like-
game in the Master Chief Collection is on the 360. They never. Also, Halo 5 was never been ported to PC. It came out in 2015, which is just late enough that they've never do it.
That game never came out. That's fine.
Next
They
prediction.
canceled it.
Double Fine will not be capable of releasing a new major title by the end of 2025. So, Microsoft has been doing a lot of heavy cuts and layoffs recently. In fact, already this year they've announced that they are doing company-wide layoffs soon for unprofitable divisions. This means more of this. We have not seen Double Fine announce anything since Psychonauts 2 launched. And do you remember seeing this year that awkward conversation footage from the making of Psychonauts 2 documentary on Twitter of Matt Booty talking with the team at Double Fine about like whether or not Xbox would take control of projects that they made outside of company time? And there was this like things are getting ugly, and I Broken Age 3 2025, yeah.
They're gonna announce Phil Spencer's gonna take Tim Schafer out in the back and shoot him.
Yeah,
There's
no.
Schafer has-
And also,
has the
that's the
shotgun.
other thing. Schaefer is the most famous person in the games industry for going over budget. Like, that's the thing you know about Tim Schafer. He has funny dialogue, and his games are way more expensive than they should be. He's there. The shadow of death looms large over him.
Yep.
Doom the Dark Ages will feature the Mother Demon in a prominent role. So the Mother Demon is the final boss of Doom 64. It's very cool. There were a bunch of references to Doom 64 and Eternal, but they didn't put it. I thought they were going to put it in the DLC. They didn't. So, yeah, this feels right. You've done every other... Like, there's not much else from 90s commercial Doom left to reference. Yeah, fucking put the Mother Demon in there. There's also rumors that they're doing another re-release of Doom 64 in some way as like a
Doom
next
Dark Ages will be as mid as 2016 and Eternal.
Potentially, yes. I like those games.
Oh,
I do not. Especially the first one.
Fable will be delayed out of 2025, and Gears of War E-Day will not have a set date by the end of the year.
E-Day? Estrogen Day? Like what? The
Election Day. Or
Oh,
Emergence
Election Day?
Or Emergence Day.
Emergence Day? Which one is it?
I don't remember. It's eBay.
Estrogen election.
I think it is emergent. I think
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
Emergence
yeah. It's
Day.
a
It's
pre
like, oh,
because
what
they're
do you
making
got?
because they're like, oh man, Gears 5 has like a choice where you have to pick which character lives or dies. That's really hard to follow up. Let's make a prequel to the entire series. They only showed a CG trailer. Microsoft is terrible about only showing CG trailers. They only started working on this game 2 or 3 years ago. It's not coming out this year. And Fable is also in like dev hell, and like they have not shown any like actual meaningful, like done a meaningful breakdown game. God, I feel so fucking bad for Playhouse Games. The Forza Horizon series was a steady, consistent
Playground game.
Playground Games. My apologies. See, I'm just like Matt Booty. I don't even remember the names of all of Xbox studios. At least I'm not an executive in the company.
Yeah, you're like Matt Booty. Booty.
But yeah, that's enough. All right, more Xbox predictions. You ready?
Okay.
Oh. Outer Wilds 2 will slip to 2026. Obsidian can't ship 2 games in 1 year. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They're gonna delay one of those. They're gonna delay that shit.
Andy,
Yeah?
you did it.
This
You
was
made
your
a mistake.
prediction?
Do you see it? Nope.
Uh,
But do you see what you got wrong?
They make Outer
It's
Worlds,
the
not
Outer
Outer
Worlds
Wilds.
2.
Oh!
I
just saw it.
You gotta close your computer.
Nah. We're gonna...
You have to quit.
But yeah, no.
Although I do agree with you that will slip because I do agree. Obsidian
For a second, I
Games.
thought I was going to
That-
get your
that's-
Xbox prediction, but we'll see.
Nope.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will not lead to permanent Game Pass growth by the end of the fiscal year. So we've already seen, like, I think, like, over 80% of the player base has dropped off from Black Ops 6. There are complaints about bugs. Things are rough right now, and, well, at least on Steam. Maybe things are better on consoles. Who fucking knows? But yeah, things seem not great. And this feels like it was a big, like, at the next big hope for Game Pass after Starfield. I don't know what's next after fucking Black Ops 6. Anything? Okay.
No, not really. I mean, it's a game you play on the computer sometimes.
South of Midnight will be the game that gets the most people online about yelling about wokeness in games.
I don't even know what that is. I believe it.
Yeah, it's a game set. It's a Southern Gothic game set in Louisiana where you play as a black woman. People are going to be very weird about that game, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
By weird I mean racist, but yes.
People are gonna kill themselves after that one.
Yeah.
How much they want to be racist about it.
All right, final prediction for Xbox this year. The wheels of Xbox hardware will not fully come off this year, but they're not going to announce anything major. They're not going to announce new hardware. They're not going to announce they're shutting down, ceasing development. Things are going to be bad, but I think they got until fiscal year next year. I think next year might be the point where they stop making Xboxes. I'm sorry, everything is an Xbox, so it is impossible for them to stop making Xboxes. Eli, what's your prediction?
Okay, so imagine you're Phil Spencer. You know, even if
What
you
a
won't admit it,
nightmare.
you're on a sinking ship. I know that you're on a sinking ship. That Xbox probably could not be saved. But what's that? You see a lifeboat. And this lifeboat is the Trump administration. I predict that Phil Spencer will try to buddy up with the Trump administration and get tariffs placed on everything to do with Sony and Nintendo to try to support the American game company.
Eli, write down that you're making this prediction right now. This is a really, really good prediction.
There's no way.
I-
It's beyond the pale.
Literal console trade wars. Oh my god. That is good. You should be doing these streams.
Well, I got one in. That's the important thing.
My prediction is
Everything is an
Phil Spencer will kill
Xbox.
himself.
I hope you're right, Stu.
Yeah, he'll kill himself.
Now it's time for our final section.
Oh,
He either killed
It's
himself or goes
Sony
MAGA.
time. We usually start with
he
Sony.
kills himself while being MAGA. There you go.
I think there was a podcast that I was listening to last year going into the new year, and one of their number one prediction, I think it might have been like 2 years ago, they said, we don't want Xbox or anyone associated with Xbox to say the words woke FTC. Anyway. Wolverine's not showing up again this year. They still gotta do Venom. That probably got pushed back. In a just world, Spider-Man 3 will get delayed and they can work on a new Ratchet and Clank, but we do not exist in a just world.
That shit got leaked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, but it was super early beta footage.
I saw it. It got
And
drafted.
they could, yeah, no, it's real, like, but it's
drafted.
nowhere near done.
Yeah.
The PS5 Pro will undersell the PS4 Pro, but in a way that Sony's prepared for. So my context for this, something that I have been, my little conspiracy theory that I've had about the PS5 Pro, and I don't think it's that crazy. The PS5 Pro was something that was put in by Jim Ryan, and a lot of the other Sony execs were like not comfortable, and it might have even been the thing that got Ryan pushed out in the end. But it was too far along into production to actually cancel. So they deliberately overpriced it on purpose to try and like and are doing a relatively short production run. I'm not saying they're not going to cancel it, but they are like prepared for the idea that this might be not great. That is probably me giving Sony too much credit, but it does feel like if nothing else, I think Mark Cerny is a smart person, and he is struggling to find good ways to sell this console. So who knows? Barry Odman says they're predicting no games. That sounds correct. Sony will not announce a new first-party VR game this year, and will instead push the PSVR 2 as a more general headset with PC compatibility. They've already added cables and stuff to connect it to PC and made an adapter, so this feels likely. And VR is, like, it's not going in the way they wanted to, so this ultimately feels like, yeah, this is what's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't know if they're even gonna push it that much.
Yeah.
I feel like making those adapters and stuff was kind of like a Band-Aid PR fix to not make it so sour on the people who did buy that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of Sony's PS4 and 5 to PC ports in 2025 will be remasters of older games. So what I'm talking about stuff like the Shadow of the Colossus remake. Maybe God of War 3 HD.
I wouldn't mind that.
The
That'd be
Ratchet
pretty
and
cool.
Clank movie game. Stuff like that.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. You're not getting like the Sly trilogy or whatever on there, but you might get, I don't know. Yeah, you might get some older stuff. Because there's not that many like big popular
What
PS4
I would like to
games
see,
that come out.
ironically, would be I would like to see this is not gonna happen. PS4, PS5 only, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see Bloodborne. That's not happening. That's not happening. We'll see if it happens. Fuck, what was it again? I want to see. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
We'll let you
God
come
damn.
back to it.
Oh yeah, the God of War collection that dropped on PS4. So it's like 1, 2, and 3, right? And the PSP ones. I want them to be on there.
You mean on the PS3? They didn't make the.
It also came
God
on PS4.
God of War 3 is the only classic God of War on that. You have to use streaming to do the other things.
Okay, but still, I want all of them.
I would also like all of them on PC.
And also, I want to see.
Do you want Ascension?
I don't give a shit. What was the other ones? The Uncharted remasters.
Oh yeah,
PS4
that is
to
something that I could see, like
to
doing
be on
because
PC.
they've already did the work to port it in PS4. So Uncharted 1 through 3, that I could see that.
1 and 3 would be awesome. And lastly, I would like to see. This is an actual prediction, if I may. The return of Resistance, the Resistance series somehow.
That would be nice. That would be so nice.
It's not happening.
Not happening. Death Stranding 2, Stepping on the Beach. We use a famous actor that hasn't appeared.
God damn it.
That was really good.
That was really good.
It was really fun.
Stepping on the Beach. We'll use him.
Do.
We'll use a famous actor that hasn't appeared in the marketing for a late game secret.
All right, who do y'all predict? If that's true, who's gonna be their famous actor?
Mm,
What do y'all think? Each person. Andy?
Well, I didn't name for a reason, so give me a second to think.
Eli?
Eli hates Kojima.
Mel Gibson.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That would be
Oh my god, I would cry laughing. That'd be so.
Like, obviously,
fucking
I'm
funny.
saying that as a hater, but you also can't deny that that's not an impossibility.
Yeah, no,
No,
you're
because
right.
he loves George Miller. He loves Mad Max. He loves George Miller. I'm not sure if George Miller likes him, but I don't know. My guess would be I'll keep mine safe. I'll use the most like popular millennial, like not millennial, like 90s not 80s baby celebrity guy who likes video games very clearly. He'll get Elijah Wood somehow in the game.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say John Carpenter, but continue.
No, Elijah Wood. He'll get Elijah Wood in the game somehow.
Okay. Lid?
Okay, here
What's up?
here's what I'm thinking. If you Google, well, I guess I don't know. Google kind of tailors their results to different people differently, don't they? But if
Mhm.
I Google Kojima with actor, the man standing next to him in the first picture is Keanu Reeves.
himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that could
going
happen.
to
Yeah.
go off of Eli's and say Mad Max will show up. Tom Hardy will be the secret final boss to Death Stranding 2 on a beach.
Sip it on the beach.
Yep. Do.
Tom Kenny's the
I
final.
think that Lid's prediction is the most likely.
Yes.
But you have
Yeah.
to give it up for mine for my pure.
I do.
I
'cause
do also want to point out the second picture that is not just an actor who's already confirmed to be in this game is Nick Cage.
You can see that happening.
Yeah,
You can see that happening as much as with Keanu Reeves.
Could you imagine?
I could. All right.
Well, okay, I didn't make my prediction for an actor.
Yeah, what is your prediction, Stu?
I think it's gonna be a white woman. So hold on, let me think about some good ass white women. Fuck it. He was like, "Well, you're in the studio already, I guess. So might as well put your blonde ass in this movie. It's gonna be Hunter Schafer. She'll be She'll be.
Oh, I think she might be in the other Kojima streaming.
I know
thing.
she is, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's like, you're in the studio, I guess now, so might as well put you in the other one also.
I mean, Twitter would go insane.
Here's why I don't agree that she will. I think she will be announced and will appear in the marketing. So
Yeah. Also, if it's gonna be Keanu Reeves, he plays one of the babies
Like it just has his normal face and head,
in voice. Yeah,
but
a
it's
baby.
on
a
a baby's
rich
body.
baby.
That's great.
Yeah.
Fair Games will be revealed not at a Sony event, but at a Jeff Keighley show. So Fair Games was a live service game that Sony showed off, I believe, in 2023, alongside Concord for the first time, and the Marathon reboot. It's like a Payday thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to give it to Jeff Keighley because they gave things like The Last of Us Part 1 remake, The Last of Us Part 1, and Lego Horizon to Jeff Keighley. I think they did give the new Naughty Dog, but that was a CG trailer for a thing that's years away. I have no predictions about that on this list. But I think that they are looking at him and it's like, all right, what's the stuff we don't want to announce at our show? Hey Jeff, you want to reveal? And he's like, well, of course. I'm Jeff Keighley. I would love a new
Of
event.
course.
Yes.
Of course.
So yeah, that's what I'm predicting.
Of course.
Also, Fair Games uses AI generated art. The big thing that is example that is pointed out is AI art of characters wearing monkey masks. Anyway, Ghost of Yotei's story will take place during the Sengoku Jidai. Yotai. During the Sengoku Jidai. But the main story will focus on personal events rather than involvement in the war. I imagine it's
It is
going to be...
Yotei, by the way.
Yotei, okay.
It is, Andy just spelled it wrong.
Oh, okay. My bad. So I imagine this is going to be structured like literally in Assassin's Creed, where it's like... Or like Assassin's Creed 3, but for feudal Japan, in that it's like... You've got your own thing going on, but then... Hey! Look at this extremely important history-defining era of Japanese figure. Okay, and the final prediction of 2025. It's the 10-year anniversary. Bloodborne will receive a 60 FPS update, but that shit ain't coming to PC. PlayStation only still.
Yes. It's gonna run the same resolution also.
Yeah.
It's gonna run at fucking 1080p with shitty ass anti-aliasing.
But it'll be 60.
It'll be 60. Hey, you motherfucker.
It's 10-year anniversary. God, can you believe it's been 10 years since Bloodborne?
Shut up, dude. Don't say that. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Oh,
I was in
gross.
high school when Bloodborne came out.
Dude, I
Well,
was
Andy,
out of high school.
You know, when you got frame generation, it ain't so hard to turn 30 into 60.
Don't you say those words.
Wow.
Don't you say those words, Eli. Don't you fucking do that.
You see, I don't think From Software would make that decision, but I do think Sony would do that.
I think
Exactly.
Anyway.
If From Software owned the game, it would be remastered on PC already.
Yeah,
Can I
of
make
course.
a final prediction?
Of course.
This is stupid. My prediction for Sony at the end of 2025 is those leaks for that Naughty Dog game are completely fabricated 1 billion%, and the game has nothing to do with Israel at all. But because of that, it's still gonna get fucking shat on for many months.
I could see that. I mean, I did not make any predictions about that game because I think it's still too far out to accurately judge. Anyway, this was, as these always are, very long and very fun. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you, Lid and Eli, for joining me. I will be streaming something.
Hey,
and Stu. Sorry, my bad.
fuck you.
You
Yeah,
were
thank
late,
you.
Stu. You don't count.
I'll kill you, dude. Okay, continue.
Thank you. I will be streaming definitely Halo 3 this week. I think it's time to start that. I have no idea what else. I might be doing both 2 streams of Halo 3.
Campaign?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Oh, co-op?
Hopefully, you can
Probably
alternate
single
it with a
player.
good game instead.
No.
Shut up, Eli.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, I am excited to, as everything is tumbling down, see the peak of Microsoft. Or at least of Xbox. Also, yes, Barry Irving Gigaboots. Anyway, thank you everyone for stopping by. This is really fun. And I, as always, cannot wait to see how this looks next year. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.